from White House Field in Harwich, Massachusetts, on the elbow of Cape Cod. It's Game 30 of the 2019 Hyannis Harbor Hawks season. They'll be taking on the Harwich Mariners tonight here from White House Field. Alongside Lyle Goldstein, I'm Brendan Howe. We welcome you all into the broadcast tonight. A 6:30 p.m. start time tonight from Harwich, Mass. And Chad Gassman, or rather acting manager Travis Poole. Chad Gassman is out tonight. He is feeling a bit under the weather. So Travis Poole puts out a lineup tonight that looks like this. Jordan Westberg leads off and plays shortstop. Hit following him, Rigsby Mosley doing the DH. Trevor Hauver out in left. Hunter Goodman in the cleanup spot in right. Ian Fair behind him at first base. Jackson Olsen at third. And the final three in the order, Mitch McIntyre in center. Adam Hackenberg behind the dish. And Anthony Servideo, the second baseman, rounding out the nine against Harwich starter Connor McCullough. And boy, what a summer it's been for him. One earned run allowed on his summer so far in 16 and a third innings of work. He struck out 20 and walked 4. And Lyle, he's going up against a struggling Hyannis lineup tonight.
Yeah, and the Hyannis offense is obviously looking to kind of get themselves back on track. And Travis Poole, Chad Gassman making a couple of moves to try to reset the offense a little bit. DeSantillo obviously didn't hear his name in the starting lineup, getting a night off tonight. And a guy like Jordan Westberg, who had a 2-hit night last night. Trevor Hauver, a 2-hit night last night. Guys at the top of the lineup looking to spark something and get out to a lead early, something that has really helped them when it's occurred, but hasn't occurred a whole lot this summer.
So Jordan Westberg about set to climb into the right-handed batter's box as he taps his cleats with his bat. Connor McCullough up atop the rubber, the right-hander out of Kansas State. A fresh transfer from Arkansas. He's into his windup. First pitch of the evening. Fastball downstairs. Count 1-0. We're underway. First pitch at 6:32 p.m. Eastern time here from Harwich. Second trip of the season to White House Field for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. 1-0 from McCullough. Breaking ball. Westberg slaps it through the left side into left field for a base hit. So Jordan Westberg continuing to climb back up the average. He picked up a couple of hits last night and starts off this one with a bang. 2 pitches. He finds himself aboard. First hit of the night for Hyannis, and now it's Rigsby Mosley. So we talk about the Hyannis bats struggling a bit coming into the night. The offense have plated just 9 runs over the course of their last 6 games. And last night they were shut out at the hands of the Falmouth Commodores, who came into McKeon Park and picked up another win against Hyannis. That's their second of the season. Fastball good for a strike to Mosley, count 0-1. So Jordan Westberg, who stands at first base, had a streak of 3 straight games from July the 10th to the 13th where he did not pick up a hit. But he gets one off McCullough here in the first inning as Mosley cuts through a high fastball, count 0-2. And Rigsby struggled last night, 0 for 4. Was not featured in the lineup last time Hyannis made the trip out to Harwich. Westberg a short lead off of first. McCullough spins and throws back in safely head first as the runner Westberg. And Rigsby a .231 hitter entering action tonight. Hyannis lineup that has put up just 10 hits over the course of their last 2 games. Mosley takes a strike 3 call on the inside corner. McCullough pumps a fastball right by him. Mosley watches it go by, and he's the first out in the first inning. So 1 on and 1 out now for Trevor Hauver. And McCullough's been known to do that. That's his 21st strikeout of the season. He's racked him up. This is his 5th appearance and 3rd start on the summer in a Mariner uniform. Record of 1-0 and a minuscule .55 earned run average. So Hopper steps in from the left side. First pitch from McCullough, slide step, fastball in for a strike at the top of the zone, 0-1. Well, Lyle, it seems like Hyannis has just run into a brick wall of solid arms night after night. They've faced a handful of all-stars, and McCullough is one of them. Harwich Mariner Ball Club featuring 8 all-stars next Sunday at Eldridge Park as Hopper cuts and misses through a fastball. He's down 0-2. Hyannis, of course, featuring 3 all-stars in next Sunday's Classic. Jared DeSantillo, one of them, not in the lineup tonight. Hunter Goodman, the man who waits on deck, is one of them. And of course, Tyler Madison, who we'll see in the bottom of the frame, the starter tonight for Hyannis. Another one that will be headed out to Eldridge Park as Hopper swung at an 0-2 breaking ball, chopped it foul right side. And for Hopper, the average sits at .232 entering action tonight. Not quite where he'd like it to be, but starting to pick it up with the bat after a 2-hit performance last night. Cuts it on 0-2 breaking pitch and slaps it foul down the left side out of play. Just over the Harwich Mariner dugout. So Hyannis trying to battle here and extend this top half of the first inning. Jordan Westberg started it off with a single. Rigsby Mosley was struck out looking on an inside fastball, and that's where we stand now to Hopper. 0-2. Breaking ball, strike three call. Back to back, make it two straight looking for McCullough, and he retires Hopper for the second out here in the first inning.
That's a good breaking ball he pumps in right there. Some good bite dropping right at the belt to knee level, and it just froze Hopper up for the second out.
So now it'll be Hunter Goodman as he stares down toward Travis Poole, who usually coaches first base. He's now down the third baseline as Goodman steps into the right-handed box with a runner aboard and Westberg over at first. McCullough slide step fastball, good for a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. And of course, Hunter Goodman, we've highlighted it throughout the week. He'll be featured in the home run derby. 5 long balls and the league-leading 26 RBIs coming into action tonight, along with a 253 clip to go with it. Breaking ball, Goodman taps it foul left side, a dribbler toward the Harwich dugout. Westberg took a couple of steps towards second base. Got a big secondary lead, but he'll head back. Count 0-2 to Goodman. So McCullough's done a nice job working from ahead in this first inning. Trying to retire the side on strikes. He's one pitch away from doing that. He fanned Mosley and Hopper for the first 2 outs of the inning. Goodman trying to advance Westberg into scoring position. 0-2 breaking ball, misses downstairs and away. Picked on the back end by Winkle, 1 ball, 2 strikes. And for Goodman, has not had much success against Harwich this season. Last time Hyannis was here, part of a 6-0 loss, Goodman went 0 for 3 in that ball game. 1-2. Breaking ball just off the outer edge of the plate. Cullen tried to pick up strike 3 with that breaking ball that he's featured a couple times here in the inning. Couldn't get the call. Right-hander comes set at the belt, kicks and fires. Breaking ball downstairs again. Goodman showing some nice patience to lay off it, and the count swells full, 3-2. Westberg off of first, 2 down. Hyannis out for the first inning. Goodman spoils a fastball away up and over the backstop out of play. And Hunter came up in last night's ball game in the 9th inning. Hyannis made things a bit interesting on Falmouth. A couple runners on for Hunter in that at bat, had a chance to win it. Got a hold of one to left field, but the ball just dying out. Trying to see what we can do here against McCullough with a 3-2 pitch in the air to center field. Chasing back Marshak a couple steps. He's got it lined up and will make the grab, and that's how the top of the first inning goes in the books. A pair of strikeouts in the frame for Connor McCullough, and he keeps Hyannis off the boards. In the inning for Hyannis, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left aboard. Harwich come to the plate for their first licks against Tyler Madison when we return on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Tyler Madison to the hill in the bottom of the first inning for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks, and he's set to face our Harwich Mariner lineup in the bottom of the inning that goes like this. Daniel Cabrera leads off doing the DH duties, followed by Chris Gowan, who's out in left. Nico Cavadas, the all-star third baseman, batting third. Christian Fenko in the cleanup spot at second base. Joey Weimer Jr. out in right. Chris Lanzilli at first. Pat Winkle behind the dish. And the final 2 in the order, Dylan Noisy, the shortstop, and Max Marshak out in center. So Tyler Madison set to go for his 5th start of his summer. an 0-1 record, an ERA of 4 flat. But Lyle, that number not really doing him much justice. He's been much better than that this season.
Yeah, and he's been probably the best arm Hyannis has had to offer, hence why he's going to the All-Star game on Sunday. He's faced these Mariners once before, had some bad luck in that start, but he's coming off a really, really good one at Bourne.
So Daniel Cabrera digs in from the left side, set to kick off the ballgame for the Harwich offense. Right-hander from Bryant into his motion. First pitch, a fastball high and away, 1-0. So for Cabrera, a .294 hitter atop the Harwich lineup tonight. Going against Madison, as you mentioned, Lyle, a great outing at the Bourne Braves at Doran Park. 1-0 pitch, breaking ball, off the outer edge of the plate, 2-0. Madison went 5 innings in that contest, gave up 2 runs on just 5 hits, walked 2 and struck out 3. Right-hander's 2-0 offering, swing and a miss, 2-1. Cabrera with 1 home run and 9 RBIs on the season to go with, his average climbing up toward 300. But this is a Harwich offense that has really, really struggled this season. Ryan Bulldog trying to shut him down, a 2-1. Swinging a foul tip into the mid of Hackenberg behind the plate. Count draws even at 2 balls, 2 strikes. And this Harwich offense struggle is no exaggeration. Just about last in every major offensive category as a 2-2 comes in. Cabrera spoils it away left side. Jackson Olsen gave it a look a couple steps toward the line, but he'll watch it sail out of play. So the count holds at 2-2 as Madison rubs out a new baseball. Madison from the windup, 2-2 pitch. Off the end of the bat, a number up the middle, and that's going to get through into center, a base hit. Daniel Cabrera puts the brakes on around first as McIntyre picks up the ball and tosses it back into the infield, but Cabrera aboard with a leadoff base hit. And that'll bring things up to Chris Gallant.
And that one just kind of, like you said, off the end of the bat, and he reached out to get it too. He kind of fished it out of the right side of the batter's box, and as a result, just enough mustard on it to pull it up the middle.
So a runner aboard, nobody away. Harwich forcing Madison to work out of the stretch right off the bat. And now Chris Gallant steps in, the left fielder tonight for Harwich, a .231 average on his summer. Madison from the windup kicks and fires. Fastball just low below the knees, 1-0 the count. Now for Harwich, that last base hit put them up over the 200 mark. 201 hits on the summer now. They came in last in the league. 1-0. Fastball, called strike, just about thigh high. Count evens 1-1. And you look at the rest of the rankings for Harwich, 10th in walks, 10th in team average, 10th in on-base percentage, 9th in RBIs. Well, this is a Hyannis pitching staff that has also struggled in their own right as a check on Cabrera at first base, back in diving head first. But Tyler Madison has been the stopper this season for Hyannis, trying to continue that trend as the Harbor Hawk Ball Club in search of their 7th win, and one that is very, very necessary. Runner takes off for second. 1-1 comes in. A called strike. Throw down is going to be high. Servidio's tag is late, and Cabrera swipes second base. So into scoring position, scampers Daniel Cabrera, and that provides Chris Gallant an RBI spot with a 1-2 count.
And I think Cabrera just got a really good jump. I mean, Hackenberg stood up, made a really strong bullet of a throw to Westberg covering the bag. But he just went off first move, had some good speed down or through the base path. He puts himself in scoring position.
So this Harwich offense trying to strike first against Tyler Madison. As he gives a look to second, now comes home with a 1-2 breaking ball through the wickets of Hackenberg, scampering to third now Cabrera. He'll get there standing without a throw. So Hackenberg unable to corral the low breaking ball from Madison. It gets into the dirt. And now a runner just 90 feet away for the Mariners from taking the first lead of the ball game. So that makes Chris Gallant's job a lot easier. A 2-ball, 2-strike count as Madison goes back to working from the windup. Into his motion in the offering. Breaking ball in the air to center field, falling fast. McIntyre's going to let it fall in front of him as the runner's going to come trotting home. Daniel Cabrera crosses the plate. An RBI single off the bat of Chris Gallant, and Harwich takes a 1-0 lead. Chris Gallant doing the job off the end of the bat. Just getting one into center field as McIntyre came on strong but couldn't corral it. Chris Gallant picks up RBI number 6 of the summer. And that'll bring up powerhouse Nico Cavadas. Sporting the orange and gold, or green and gold cleats, I should say. A big Notre Dame left-handed hitter will step in against Madison for the first time as he watches a breaking ball down and away. Picked up by Hackenberg, count 1-0. Runner Gowan back to the bag at first. But Hyannis, what a season it's been for him. A .277 hitter, 7 bombs, and 22 RBIs. And he'll be featured in the home run derby along with Hunter Goodman, who currently resides out in right field. Madison out of the stretch, turns and fires back to first. In standing up, Chris Gowan. But for Hyannis, the numbers extend past just those 7 home runs and 22 RBIs. Good for second in that category of RBIs. First in home runs, capped off by a 3-bomb game earlier on in the summer. Madison again spinning a fire back, a harder throw this time. Tag applied by Fair in diving head first, Gowan. So Gowan, who resides at first, as well as Hyannis, 2 of the 8 All-Stars that this Harwich Manor team possesses. Madison comes set at the belt, 1-0 offering. Here it is. Fastball, Hyannis swings and sends it in the air to deep center field. Chasing McIntyre back a couple steps. He's got a read on it. He'll settle under it and make the grab. So Hyannis gave it a ride, but not deep enough to get it out of the ballpark as Gowan goes back to first. And a much-needed first out here in the bottom of the inning for Madison.
Well, he certainly put a good swing on it. He sent it out to the deepest part of the ballpark as well, but it just kind of died out in deep center as McIntyre didn't have a problem to go get it.
So Christian Fetko makes his way up to the plate. Seeing Madison for the first time. He's got a runner aboard and 1 down. Harwich has picked up a pair of hits in the inning, back-to-back singles to start it off. And striking quickly for a 1-0 lead against the Bryant right-hander. As Fetko settles in, stares back out at Madison, comes home with the first offering. Fastball low, count 1-0. And for Fetko last night as part of a 5-4 loss at the hands of the YD Red Sox. Went 1 for 3 and came around to score a run. Of course, Hyannis sits in last place in the Western Division. Same story for Harwich. The fastball misses low, picked on the back end by Hackenberg. 2 balls and no strikes. But for Harwich, that last place standing has a little bit of a different tale. They are very, very much in the mix with an eye toward the postseason in the Eastern Division. They trailed the Brewster Whitecaps to the final playoff spot by just a point entering the night. So a win here could go a long way and perhaps trying to shake up the Eastern Division playoff outlook. Madison comes set, 2-0 pitch. Here it is. Fastball downstairs. Down by the ankles of Fetko. Count runs to 3-0. And for the Bryant right-hander, he's only surrendered 5 walks on his season. And hasn't really worked from behind a whole lot in counts to hitters. But well behind 3-0 as Fetko has put himself well in the driver's seat. Short lead for Gowan off of first, a 3-0 delivery. Fastball, a get-me-over pitch right down central for a strike, 3-1. Well, Lyle, what really stands out about this Harwich team was the offensive struggles, but wasting no time trying to get to Tyler Madison.
Yeah, absolutely. And you see it with the top of the lineup, the Cabrera single, the Gallen single.
3-1 offering. Fetko swings and lifts it foul off to the right out of play. So Gowan retreats back to first, and it was Gowan. Drove in that RBI single to score Daniel Cabrera to start off the scoring in the ball game. And again, this is a team that is 9th in RBIs in the league with just 88. 10th in hits entering the night. And against probably, arguably, what is the best arm Hyannis has to offer. They have struck. Full count offering. Fetko swings in the air to deep left field, chasing back Hover toward the track. He makes the backhanded grab over the shoulder. Second out of the inning as Gowan goes back to first. Madison recording the last couple of outs to a few big bats. Now transition things here in the first inning to another big bat who's been a thorn on the side of Hyannis and Joey Weimer Jr. So as Weimer walks his way up to the plate, the only bat over 300 in the Harwich lineup tonight. A .310 average, 1 home run, and 12 RBIs. That 1 home run came right here against these Harbor Hawks. That came back on June the 28th. First pitch from Madison. Runner goes for second, sliding in safely Gowan without a throw as Hackenberg never got up from his knees. Gowan swipes second with ease. He's into scoring position. And a 1-0 count to Weimer Jr. with 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. 1-0 Mariners if you're just joining us here on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Brendan Howe alongside Lyle Goldstein. Madison working from the stretch, black glove tucked under the left shoulder as he comes set at the belt. 1-0 offering. Breaking ball dropped in for a strike, bell tie, count evens. Madison in search of his first strikeout of his outing tonight. Connor McCullough on the flip side for Harwich picked up a pair in his first inning of work. Ryan right-hander has fanned 14 on his summer so far. Weimer Jr. bat high above his red helmet. 1-1. Breaking ball downstairs. 2 balls and a strike. We talked about Madison's last outing at Doran Park against the Bourne Braves. On July the 4th, Independence Day before that, a game against the YD Red Sox in which Madison worked 3 2/3, gave up 2 runs on 6 hits, walked 3 and struck out 3. But Lyle, one of those games just didn't quite have the location. Wasn't bad on the mound. The 2-1 comes in. Weimer Jr. waves and misses over the top of a breaking ball, and the count levels at 2-2. But the times that Madison has been on the mound this season hasn't really been helped out much by his defense. He's gotten himself into a bit of trouble, courtesy of the errors. He's been able to work through 18 innings on his summer so far. And for the most part, he's been fairly economical. 2-2 to Weimer Jr. on the way. Fastball, Weimer nubs it off the end of the bat and dribbler down the first baseline foul. And for Weimer last night, what a night it was. Even though Harwich dropped the game 5-4 to the Red Sox, Weimer Jr. 3 for 4, picked up 3 RBIs as well. And that put him into double digits. 12 on the season. Got a chance for another one with the runner in scoring position. Chris Gowan out at second base and 2 down. Madison 1 strike away from working out of the first inning and limiting the Harwich damage. Right-hander stares down at Hackenberg. He's got a sign he likes. Working from the stretch to 2-2. Runner takes off. Weimer Jr. swing and a miss. Strike 3. Madison picks up strikeout number 1 of his night, and it ends the bottom of the first inning. Couple of singles led off the inning for Harwich. They plated 1, and it's the Mariners 1, Harbor Hawks nothing. It's the top of the second is on the way on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Hyannis set to send up Ian Fair, Jackson Olsen, and Mitch McIntyre to the plate in the top of the second inning here from White House Field in beautiful Harwich, Mass. 1-0, the Mariners struck quickly in the first inning off of Tyler Madison. And it's Connor McCullough back to the hills. He pumps in a first pitch fastball low and away, strike 1. So Ian Fair stepping in for the first time tonight, carrying a .426 average into play. No home runs and 2 RBIs. As McCullough winds and fires, another fastball. That one painting the outside corner as Fair quickly finds himself down. No balls and 2 strikes. McCullough in search of his third strikeout, the 0-2 offering. Just a bit off the outside part of the plate. 1-2 the count. As Fair steps out, takes half a practice swing, now back in. McCullough into the windup, 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Ian Fair goes down. Third strikeout of the night already for Connor McCullough. And for the right-hander out of K-State, it's been more of the same. Continuing the strong trend on his summer. The 23rd strikeout for the right-hander on 2019. And now Jackson Olsen makes his way to the plate. So for Jackson getting another start here tonight for Hyannis. As manager Chad Gassman has been filled in for by Travis Poole. First pitch, breaking ball into the dirt, all the way to the backstop, count 1-0. Now for Connor McCullough, a little bit of a different story on his path to the Cape. Started his college career at Arkansas as he fires a 1-0. Off-speed pitch on the outside corner. Count evens the ball and a strike. But for McCullough, started at Arkansas, decided he didn't like it, transferred after the fall semester and wound up at K-State. As Olsen swings and sends a bounding ball towards second base. Fetko's got it off down throw to first in time for the out. So Olsen quickly goes down for the second out here in the second frame. That'll bring up Mitch McIntyre trying to avoid a 1-2-3 inning. And for McCullough, has yet to pitch at the D1 level, but here on Cape Cod, really, really holding his own and showing why he'll be a vital part of the K-State rotation. Winds and fires. First pitch to McIntyre. Fastball in the inside corner, strike one. And for Mitch, just above the Mendoza line at 217 on his summer. No home runs, 4 RBIs. Trying to jumpstart something and extend the top half of the second inning for Hyannis. They put up one hit on the board to this point off McCullough. A 1. Breaking ball down by the shoot tops. Count pulls even, the ball and a strike. So, of course, when McCullough transferred over to K-State, was ineligible under NCAA transfer rules. McIntyre gives a weak hack and a miss at an upstairs breaking ball. And the count moves to 1-2. But in high school, accolades beyond belief. A laundry list for Connor McCullough. He's a really, really special right-hander. As he comes home, swing and a miss, strike 3. He's got number 4. Fans McIntyre on a breaking ball down and in. And the center fielder gives a weak hack and a miss at it, and that is how Hyannis half of the second inning will end. A pair of strikeouts for Connor McCullough in the frame. He's got 4 on his evening, and he keeps Hyannis off the boards again. Mariners 1, Harbor Hawks nothing. Harwich back to the plate for their second licks in the bottom of the second when we return on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Harwich sends up 6, 7, and 8 in the order to the plate in the bottom of the second inning against Tyler Madison. This Harwich offense, who has struggled for the most part in the 2019 season, able to put up one off the Bryant right-hander in the first frame. Chris Lanzilli, Pat Winkle, and Dylan Noisy to step in against the right-hander. As he winds and fires, first pitch, a fastball sent off the fencing, off the backstop, count 0-1. So Madison, perhaps the best arm that this Hyannis squad has to offer. And in his season at Bryant, more of the same dominance. He comes home with an 0-1. Fastball downstairs, a ball and a strike to the hitter Lanzilli. Madison on 9-1 record in his season with Bryant. 80 1/3 innings of work, so a high volume of usage for the Bulldog club. 1-1. Cut and a miss. Lanzilli way out in front of an off-speed delivery. Count 1-2. Only surrendered 31 earned runs did Madison in those 80 innings of work. 30 walks and 67 strikeouts, so a lot of swing and miss in that arsenal. He's a guy that'll feature a fastball, change, and a curve, so mainly a three-pitch guy. He uses them all very, very effectively. 1-2 pitch. Lanzilli swings and pops one up foul right side, back and over us out of play. And if you want to even keep going back to Madison's high school days, well, 9-0 record, a .36 ERA, and he struck out 111 batters in 58 innings in his senior season of 2017. Looking for another punch out here on 1-2, and he gets it. Foul tip back into the glove of Hackenberg as the Clemson Tiger holds onto it. Madison picks up strikeout number 2, the second in a row if you date back to end the first inning. And now it'll be Pat Winkle, the backstop, making his way up to the dish. Taking a quick look at the Hyannis defense around the outfield left to right. Trevor Hauver, Mitch McIntyre, Hunter Goodman. And in the infield, Jackson Olsen at third, Jordan Westberg at short, Anthony Servideo at second, and Ian Fair at first. And of course, the other half of the battery, Adam Hackenberg behind the dish. First pitch to Winkle, sends one foul straight back off the backstop, count 0-1. So 1 run on 2 hits. It was a couple of singles from Daniel Cabrera and Chris Gowan, the two at the top of the order that have done the most damage for this Harwich ball club this season. With the exception of Nico Cavadis, of course, in the number 3 hole. 0-1, breaking ball, slap foul again, left side. Off the top of the fencing by the third base side grandstands. Madison quickly works himself ahead, 0-2. Winkle, a 160 hitter. Matter of fact, 1 of 4 in the bottom of the Harwich lineup tonight, under 200. Breaking ball missed outside, 1-2 now. Chris Lanzilli, Pat Winkle, Dylan Noisy, and Max Marshock all hitting under the Mendoza line. Pat Winkle with the highest of the 4, average-wise at 160. 1-2 for Madison, breaking ball in the dirt. Winkle thought about going after it, decided to hold up, a wise decision. Count evens, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Winkle waves the bat above his left shoulder as he awaits Madison's windup 2-2. Fastball, pop up left side and foul ground. Olsen gives a couple of steps over into foul ground, but he'll watch it sail off and up over the fence. Now, Pat Winkle, a freshman who plays his college ball at the University of Connecticut, spent last summer with the Bristol Blues in the Futures Collegiate League. He's already turned some eyes of Major League scouts. Was taken off the board in the 31st round of the 2018 draft by the New York Yankees. Trying to raise his stock here on Cape Cod this summer. He sends a 2-2 on the ground toward Anthony Servideo. Backhanded stop to his right. Throw to first in time to get him. And Servideo, a fine play on the backhand to pick it up. Plant off his back foot. Throw to first in time to Fair to get Winkle by a couple of steps. So 2 up, 2 down. Madison making quick work of the Mariners here in the second inning. And now Dylan Noisy, the shortstop, will dig in the last hope here in the frame. So Noisy steps in, a 125 hitter on his summer. Seeing Madison for the first time this season. Breaking balls, he squared to bunt, pulled it back. A ball and no strikes. So Madison, perhaps one of the most decorated arms on this Hyannis staff this season as well, in addition to the production he's put up on the mound. As Noisy swings and laces one into right field, right at Hunter Goodman, who makes the catch on the move, and that ends the inning. A 1-2-3 frame for Tyler Madison, working very, very strong. A scoreless frame, still 1-0 Harwich as we go to the third here on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
8 8-9-1 coming to the plate for Hyannis in the top of the third inning against the right-hander Connor McCullough, back out for his third frame of work. It'll be Adam Hackenberg, Anthony Servideo, and Jordan Westberg as the Clemson Tigers set to dig into the right side of the box. He'll tap the plate a couple times. McCullough, the right-hander from Kansas State, gets the signs, and he fires home. Fastball good for a strike. It's 0-1 to the Clemson Tiger Hackenberg. Adam comes into today hitting .214. 2 home runs, 5 runs batted in. Pitch, sweeping breaking ball, but way low, buries it in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike. McCullough thus far has given up 1 hit in his first 7 batters on the leadoff base hit to Jordan Westberg. 1-1, swinging a high pop-up, falling quickly into left field. In comes Galland, and he makes the catch at the neck-high level. So Hackenberg fists one off the handle of the bat into short left center. Galland came in quickly and made the grab for the first out to bring up Anthony Servideo. So 8 of the first 9 retired for the Kansas State Wildcat. It'll bring up the Ole Miss Rebel Anthony Servideo. Servideo went 0 for 2 last night with a walk. Pitch, fastball high. So McCullough, working from the windup, first base side of the rubber, he sets at the belt. Pitch, fastball, called strike on the outer edge. The count moves to 1 ball, 1 strike. So Harwich and Hyannis going at it for the 4th matchup, the final time of the 2019 season. Offering, misses up high, 2 balls, 1 strike to Servideo. Harwich won the first matchup in what was the first game of 2 in a doubleheader, 7-2. As McCullough's ready, the 2-1, misses low, 3 balls, 1 strike. Then Hyannis took the latter match of the doubleheader. Same score of 7-2, only that time in their favor. And Harwich won 6-0 in the first game at White House. Servideo swings and misses through a 3-1, and the count runs full. Last summer, Hyannis swept the Mariners in the 2018 series 4-0, but Harwich currently leads 2-1 entering tonight's play. 3-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. Connor McCullough has been absolutely cruising so far, his 5th punch-out, as Servideo strikes out for the first time tonight to bring up Jordan Westberg.
Boy, does he have his stuff working tonight. He's worked that fastball on east-west, both the inner and outer edge of the plate. And he's dropped in a breaking ball, which has stayed low in the zone. Hasn't gotten hurt. Just a 1-base hit to speak of so far.
Now Westberg the hitter. Pitch. Called strike, and it's 0-1. So Westberg, that single through the 5-6 gap in his first at bat. Now the next offering, line drive over the head of the third baseman Cavadas. It gets down the left field line. Westberg hits the bag hard at first. He's thinking 2. Throw coming into second. No tag applied, and Westberg slides in safely. He's starting to get hot again. Jordan Westberg, 2 for 4 last night, 2 for his first 2 tonight. And he punches a 2-out double down the left field line to bring up Rigsby Mosley.
And what a time to get hot. It's coming down to crunch time for Hyannis this season. And who better but Westberg to get something going at the top of the order? 2 at-bats, same amount of hits.
So Westberg gives first base coach Casey Stewart his ankle guard and elbow guard as he stands at second base with Rigsby Mosley, the left-handed hitting right fielder from Troy. As McCullough, the stretch in the first pitch, down low. Mosley, of course, an outfielder by trade, but doing the designated hitting tonight. Struck out looking at his first at-bat. That was the first of 5 punch-outs so far for Connor McCullough. McCullough the stretch, he checks the runner, Westberg at second. Pitch, swing, and a high pop-up left side. This should be playable. In comes Noisy. Settles under it, moves to his left, and makes the grab to end the inning. So Jordan Westberg with a 2-out double down the line, but he gets stranded at second base. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on. We'll go to the bottom of the third. It's Hyannis 0 with Harwich 1 on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Max Marshak, Daniel Caprera, Chris Gallen, the three to come to the plate for Harwich in the bottom of the third. 9-1-2 of the lineup set to face Tyler Madison back on the mound for his third inning. Right-hander's given up 1 run on 2 hits so far. First pitch, swing and a number right side on a hop to Servideo, moving to his left, fires on the run to Ian Fair, and it's in time. 1 pitch, 1 down for the Bryant right-hander Tyler Madison. As he induces some soft contact from the center fielder Marshak. Just got one off the inside of the bat, punched it toward the right side, and Servideo makes a nice play moving to his left, fields it down glove side, and then makes the throw on the run. The 4-3 put out to begin the inning. This will bring up Daniel Cabrera for his second time around. He singled and scored his first time. Madison staring in the left-handed hitter from LSU. He rocks and fires. Breaking ball misses low out in front of the plate. So Cabrera on the summer hitting .304. Coming into tonight's play, Harwich had only 1 hitter at 300 or higher. That's Joey Weimer Jr. He currently sits at .306 after going 0 for his first 1 so far tonight. Madison's 1-0. Misses just outside. Hackenberg tried to frame it, couldn't quite do it successfully. So Harwich with just 2 hits tonight, those coming in the first 2 batters of the game. Cabrera and Gallen both with singles. Now the 2-0 from Madison, breaking ball, cut and a miss. After that, Madison's been really economical. He had a 1-2-3 second inning. He's retired the first batter here in the third. 2-1, ground ball right side, fielded on a hop by Fair. He takes it himself to the bag, steps on the pillow. There's 2 away. 2 quick ground ball outs for Madison. And with 2 down, it'll bring up Chris Gallen, the Boston College left fielder.
Number 36, the left fielder from Boston College, Chris Gallen.
So Gallen, responsible for the only run in the ballgame so far. Had the RBI single back in the top of the bottom of the first. They plated Cabrera after stealing second following his single. Madison the windup. Fires home. It plunks the hitter Gallen right on the back. He removes the batting gloves quickly, runs down to first base, gives a healthy sprint. He seems to be fine. As he's just talking to his first base coach. That'll bring up Nico Cavadas from Notre Dame.
Well, that one probably just a stinger and definitely not intentional for Madison. Just lost command of the fastball. That hit by pitch, breaking up a string of 8 in a row he set down.
So now the hitter, Nico Cavadas. Madison throws over, back safely. The runner, Chris Gallen. Now, Gallen's already stolen a base tonight. He is no doubt a threat for the Harwich Ball Club. Cabrera stole a base as well before scoring. Madison the stretch in the offering. Gallen takes off. Low pitch. Throw it down to second from Hackenberg. Tag applied. And Gallen called safe. Westberg jumping in the air in frustration. He thought that Gallen came off the bag. But field umpire Mark Chamberlain rules that he does not, and Harwich has another runner in scoring position. So for Chris Gallen, 2 stolen bases already tonight. That makes 10 on the summer, the first Mariner into double digits. So Madison, third runner that's reached into scoring position that he's had to deal with tonight. Only 1 scored thus far. 1-0, ground ball foul right side. And he's going to have to be careful here. Nico Cavadas, the hitter, left-handed bat out of Notre Dame. This guy leads the Cape League in home runs with 7. Brendan touched on it earlier. Tied for second in RBIs. But he's hit his power surge as of late. There's no question about that. For Cavadas, 5 of his last 7 home runs have come in his last 10 games. Madison ready, the 1-1. Breaking ball drops into the top of the zone, strike 2. Cavadas' first home run came in that doubleheader against Hyannis out at McKeon Park. Should have had a second, but Bryce Teodosio came up with what was probably his best defensive player of the year. He's had a handful. And that robbed Cavadas of a second that day. Madison looks back the runner Gallen to second as he steps off the mound. Gallen retreats back to the bag. So that was game 10 that Cavadas hit his first home run. He hit another in game 21 of the Harwich season. Mariners currently in game 31. And since then, he slugged his additional 5. 1-2, runner takes off, swinging a foul left side out of play. That's going to pop over the stands and into the trees. So Gallen will retreat back to second base. Madison will get a new baseball. But Cavadas, 7 home runs, once again, leading the Cape League. Austin Wells from YD has a total of 6. And a handful of guys have 5, including Hunter Goodman. Cavadas, along with Goodman, along with Baron Radcliffe from Falmouth last night, partaking in the home run derby like Brendan talked about. 1-2, fastball high and away. Cavadas outside the box, adjusting his batting gloves. Wiggling that maple bat out toward the mound, or rather maple top, but black handle. Got some white tape over it as well as he extends the back elbow. Pitch from Madison. Down in the dirt. It's 3 balls, 2 strikes. So Tyler's only given up the 1 free pass today. That came on the hit by pitch to Chris Gallen, who now stands at second base. Madison kicking some dirt up on the rubbers. Cavadas digging his way back to the left side. It's 1-0 Mariners to score. 3-2 with 2 outs. Hackenberg giving Madison the signals. He gets one he likes as he sets at the belt. Full count offering. Ground ball right side to Fair, and it's just called foul to the right of the bag. It skipped under Fair's glove. Had it been called a fair ball, Gallen would have scored easily from second. But first base umpire Alan Liberdoni rules that it scooted just to the right of Cavadas and on the first baseline. And just like that, it's going to stay at a full count. Score stays at 1-0 for now. Madison looking for what would be his second strikeout of the night. And now the offering. Up high, ball 4. So Cavadas draws the 2-out walk. He's aboard at first base. And just like that, Madison can't pick up, well, what would be his third strikeout, rather. He has 2. And it'll bring up Christian Fedko. So now Madison's issued back-to-back free passes. 1 walk, 1 hit by pitch. Runners on first and second for Christian Fedko out of UConn. Fedko working his way in from the right side as Madison looks to get out of a mini jam. So Madison, ball tucked behind his back. Fedko, the right-handed hitter, as he checks the runner, now fires home. Fastball, that misses just outside. Each team with 2 hits so far. For Hyannis, both of them coming from Jordan Westberg. But now the Mariners have gone a total of 13 at-bats without a hit. Or rather, 10, sorry. 10 at-bats without a hit. As Madison's going to step off the mound. They've had 2 base runners reach in the inning. Again, the hit by pitch to Gallen, also the stolen base. And then the Nico Cavadas walk. Tyler checks the runner at second. Now he's ready to fire home. It's a fastball low and away. So Fedko flew out to left in his first at bat. He currently sits at 282 on the summer. And he'll be making the trip out to Eldridge Park in Orleans to represent Harwich in the All-Star game. 8 Mariners All-Stars set to play in the Summer Classic on Cape Cod. As Madison's ready with the 2-0. Off speed, catches the zone for strike 1. And again, we'll be highlighting players throughout the week for the All-Star game, a trend that's looming large this week with the contest set to take place on Sunday night in Orleans. And again, Harwich with 8 guys. The night goes on, we'll dig deeper into each one. Madison, the 2-1, runner takes off, swinging a foul back out of play. So the count will run to 2-2 with 2 outs. Deuce is wild. Harwich leading 1-0, 2 runners on base. As Fedko adjusts the batting gloves outside the box. Hackenberg looking toward the first base dugout for a signal. Madison today, 2 strikeouts already. He's looking for his third. Connor McCullough already with 5 today for Harwich. But Tyler Madison, who's making his 5th start of the summer, comes set, 2-2, swinging a foul off the front leg of Fedco. Count will stay that way. 2 balls, 2 strikes. So each runner will hold at their respective bags. So Harwich 13-17 on the summer. Sit at last place in the East Division, but the East Division all pretty neck and neck. They're 1 point behind Brewster, who sits at 13-15-1. As Christian Fedco's trying to shake out that ball he just took off the front ankle. Now appears to be just fine. He'll dig back into the box. But Harwich in last place with 26 points. Chatham in first place with 38. So only a 12-point difference between first and fifth. Madison steps off the mound, but no hold at second. Gallen still retreats, however. So this has been a lengthy at-bat to the hitter, Fedco. Madison has himself a 2-2 count. This will be the 6th pitch of the at-bat upcoming. Gets the side from Hackenberg. Infield playing back, the offering. Runners take off. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Madison makes it a trio of strikeouts on the night, and he gets out of a mini jam in the top of the 3rd inning. For Harwich, no runs, no hits, no errors. 2 left on due to the pair of free passes. But it's 1-0 Mariners through 3 frames of play. We'll be back for the top of the 4th on the other side of the break on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Trevor Hauber, Hunter Goodman, Ian Fair coming to the plate, the heart of the Hyannis lineup, with the 3-4-5 set to go up against the right-handed Connor McCullough. So McCullough ready with the first offering to Hauber. It's a fastball that misses low and in. And Connor McCullough, who's making his 3rd start of the summer, has been absolute dynamite for the Harwich Ball Club. Pitch, misses low, 2 balls, no strikes. For McCullough in his last start, 8 innings, like Brendan touched on. 3 hits, 9 punch-outs. 2-0, low fastball, and it's 3 balls, no strikes to the Sun Devil Hauber, who's 2nd in the Cape League in walks, trailing Jamal O'Gwyn by 1. McCullough the windup, 3-0 on the way. Get me over fastball, and the count runs to 3-1. But that 8 innings, best outing he's put together all summer, there's no question. 9 strikeouts, that's a summer high. He's punched out 5 or more 3 different times as Hauber swings and pops one foul out of play. The 3 times he struck out 5 or more have come in his last 3 outings. 3-inning stint against Brewster on June the 19th, 4 1/3 inning outing against Chatham on July the 2nd, and then he faced the same Anglers here at home at White House Field a week later on July the 9th. Now the 3-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. Hauber drops to a knee, and he strikes out to make it the first out of the inning for the Harwich Ball Club. And it's now half a dozen punch-outs for the right-hander McCullough. The Hauber's punched out twice, once looking, once swinging. Now Hunter Goodman, the hitter. The McCullough staring in at the hitter Goodman. Power threat from the right side as the righty fires a breaking ball outside, and it's 1-0. So McCullough, who just finished up his redshirt freshman year, ready with the 1-0, fastball high. He'll flash a fastball splitter combo. But he really hasn't pitched at all in Division I baseball. He's ready with a 2-0 to Goodman. Line drive into left field. That'll fall quickly, a base hit. One hops into the glove of the left fielder Galland as Goodman stops at first base. Throw back into the shortstop Noisy. And the Memphis Tiger has himself a 1-out base knock here in the top of the 4th inning.
And that's what Goodman needs to continue to do. We obviously know Jordan Westberg's starting to break out of his slump at the top of the lineup, but the rest of the order's got to do their part too. Hunter Goodman doing it right there, picking up his first hit of the night.
So Goodman aboard. Now that'll bring up Ian Fair. Fair, the right-handed hitting first baseman from Northeastern. Stretching the offering, misses high. Fair was 2 for 3 yesterday, a single and a double against the Falmouth Commodores. So far today, he's just struck out swinging. Pitch, fly ball into shallow center field. Patrolling in Marshak, moving a bit to his right, and he makes the grab. So 2 away. Goodman jogs back to first base. He only got about 5 steps off the bag. Now that'll bring up Jackson Olsen with 2 away. So still fairly early, but Hyannis has been involved in their fair share of pitching duels for the last 5-6 games or so, and it looks like they might be in for another one tonight. Madison's thrown the ball really well for Hyannis so far. But Connor McCullough, he has looked really, really sharp. Stretching the pitch to the hitter Olsen. He swings underneath a fastball up above the letters. And Harwich still looking to climb the East standings. It's not a whole lot of room they have to climb. Again, they're just 1 point behind Brewster. They're 5 points behind Orleans in third. As that fastball spiked in the dirt, gets away from the catcher Winkle, and coasting down to second base will be Hunter Goodman. So a wild pitch sends the Memphis Tiger 90 feet closer. And Hyannis has their second run in scoring position of the ball game. Olsen, the left-handed hitter from Hartford, playing third base tonight for the Harbor Hawks. Last night was 0 for 3. He's 0 for 1 so far tonight. But the righty McCullough ready. Checks the runner, comes home, breaking ball low. 2 balls, 1 strike to Olsen. But for Connor McCullough, again, he really hasn't pitched much in college ball at all. He spent a semester at Arkansas before realizing that wasn't the place for him. So he transferred to Kansas State, but he couldn't pitch due to a transfer rule. 2-1. Fastball called strike at the knees, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Of course, the transfer rule in NCAA sports is you have to sit out a year. That's what McCullough did this year at Kansas State in 2019. But he's eligible to pitch in summer ball, and in his time with Harwich, he's been ever so effective. Now the 2-2. Swing and a chopper to the first baseman, Lanzilli. Fields cleanly, beats Olsen in a foot race to the bag, and that ends the inning. So the Harbor Hawks put a runner on board. That was a Hunter Goodman single, but that's it. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on. It's Harwich 1, Hyannis nothing. And we'll go to the bottom of the 4th when we return on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Cincinnati right fielder Joey Weimer coming to the plate to begin the bottom of the fourth against Tyler Madison, the Bryant right-hander, who so far in the game has given up 1 earned run on 2 hits, and he struck out 3 to this point. He winds and fires the first pitch to Weimer. It's a breaking ball swung on and lined into short center field. That's dropping in front of McIntyre, a base hit. Weimer hits the bag at first. He'll stop right there. Picks up his first hit of the night. And just like that, Harwich has a runner aboard to begin the bottom of the fourth.
Well, Joey Weimer Jr. has been swinging the bat well against Hyannis all season, and that time takes an off-speed delivery from Madison right back where it came from, up the middle and into center.
So Joey Weimer aboard at first base. Brings up Chris Lanzilli, the Wake Forest first baseman. Throw over to first from Madison, but back safely the runner Weimer. So now hitting .315 after that leadoff single. And Joey Weimer, who's average-wise been the best bat in the Mariners lineup, will, shockingly, be one of the 8 Mariners represented in the All-Star game. Madison fires over to first again, and Weimer back with a head-first dive about a head length. 8 Harwich All-Stars. Nico Cavadas won. Christian Fedko, Daniel Cabrera, Joe Boyle, Connor McCullough, the starter tonight. Reliever Will Heflin, who Hyannis has seen once, to go along with Jacob Palish and the runner at first, Weimer Jr. Pitch, swinging a line drive up the middle, and that gets through a base hit. It's shot over the bag at second base. Neither Westberg or Servideo gave much effort. They didn't have a chance. And back-to-back singles for the Mariners in the bottom of the fourth has put 2 runners on base. And that's 2 base hits right back where it came from. Weimer Jr., the line drive over the head of Madison. Lanzilli, a line drive past the mound that Madison had to duck out of the way of a little bit, or at least give an athletic acrobatic to make sure it didn't plunk him. So Pat Winkle, the UConn catcher, the hitter. He'll dig in from the left side, one of 3 left-handed bats for the Mariners tonight. Madison's first offering, fastball that misses just away. So Weimer Jr. aboard at second base. Lanzilli, the runner, at first. The Mariners leading 1-0 in the bottom of the fourth. Madison comes into the stretch, rocks and fires home. Ground ball, just foul. First baseman Fair gave it a chase, but to the right of the chalk, and it's 1-1. So Madison, of course, making his 5th start tonight. One of them came at this very ballpark against Harwich. In that outing, he went 4 1/3 innings. He gave up 3 earned runs on 4 hits. Walked nobody, but struck out 2. Back on June the 28th, where Hyannis dropped the contest 6-0. Madison, ready with the 1-1. Here it comes. Line drive over the head of Ian Fair down the right field line. That's going to be a base hit. Weimer around third. He's going to score without a throw. From first to third goes the runner Lanzilli, and stopping at first base with an RBI single is the UConn catcher Pat Winkle with his 8th run batted into the summer. And Harwich makes it 2-0 in the bottom of the fourth.
Well, right when you thought Madison was starting to settle into a groove, these Harwich bats picking it right back up again, revving the engine, starting to time up Madison a little bit more here in the 4th inning.
So Madison, almost all the way through 2 rounds of seeing these Harwich bats. Dylan Noisy, the number 8 hitter in the lineup, has flown out to right today. Madison, the stretch in the offering, he attempts a bunt, but pushes it behind the plate foul. So Harwich out 2-0 here in the bottom of the fourth. Now, the Hyannis offense has been looking to jumpstart themselves for a while now, and against a Harwich team that doesn't play well from behind. It would have been crucial tonight, but once again, not to be. They're going to have to play some come from behind themselves. That's the Harbor Hawk offense. Madison throws over to first. Back with a head-first dive, Pat Winkle. Harwich is 2-11 on the season when they don't score first. So for an offense that ranks last in the league in almost every category, they're a team that does not string together a whole lot of runs. In fact, 99 runs on the season, including the 2 tonight, as the pitch to the hitter, Noisy, is popped up into shallow left field into foul ground. Westberg coasting back to his right. He calls off the runner, or the third baseman, Olsen. He makes the grab. Thinking about going home, Chris Lanzilli, he gives a couple steps and retreats back to the bag, realizing there was no chance. So a pop-up into foul ground down the left field line. Olsen started to range back, but the better angle, obviously, to the shortstop Westberg, who moved out and to his right, called off Olsen, and made the grab on the run and foul ground for the first out.
And that's a heck of a play from Westberg, having to leave his shortstop position and go all the way about 5 feet to the left of the chalk down the left field line and reel that one in. Heck of an athletic play.
First and third, the runners. Nick Marshak, the hitter from Texas Tech, as Madison throws over to first, backs safely the runner Pat Winkle. But once again for Harwich, 2-11 when they don't score first. Including the 2 runs tonight, they have 99 on the summer. But they're 97 as a team entering today's play, ranked last in the league as to go along with most of their offensive categories. Offering good breaking ball, drops into the zone, it's 0-1. Hyannis offense, on the other hand, well, they're really looking to get anything going. They're now at 19 scoreless innings as we currently speak. They were shut out last night by the Falmouth Commodores. Against Chatham 2 nights ago, they put up 1 run in the top of the third. That was on an Ian Fair RBI groundout. Madison's 0-1. Fastball popped off the glove of the catcher, Hackenberg, on a foul ball. It's 0-2. So Hyannis dropped that contest to the Anglers 4-1. A Chatham 4 spot in the 7th inning was all they'd need. But again, Ian Fair had that RBI ground out to the third baseman, Anthony Villar. That was the last time a Hyannis runner stepped on the plate. In that game, he played at Teodosio after a leadoff double in the top of the third. So 2-0 Mariners the score. It's an 0-2 count to the hitter. That's Nick Marshak, a Texas Tech Red Raider who just followed his college teammate, Dylan Noisy. Noisy made the first out as he popped up to the shortstop Westberg, who made the catch in foul ground. 0-2. Fastball high. It brushes the hitter off the plate a bit. So Madison, a 1-2 count with 1 down. He struck out 3 so far tonight. But he's dealing with runners on the corners. Lanzilli at third, Winkle at first. As the righty gets the side from Hackenberg, the offering, swing and a miss at a good breaking ball, strike 3. Man, he turned that one. Madison makes it 4 strikeouts on the night, as there's 2 away in the bottom of the 4th inning.
Well, Madison really left that one to fall off the table. It was a good breaking ball and a great time to pull the string on Marshak. Really got him to go over the top of it and strands that runner down at third. As now assistant coach Ron Polk is making his way out to the mound.
So Polk making the trip out with 2 away. This will be the 3rd time through the order if they let Madison keep going. Again, Chad Gassman, the Hyannis head coach tonight, not present. And Ron Polk having a meeting with the entire infield as well as the pitcher, Madison. So from our vantage point, we can't see if anybody's getting loose for Hyannis. Madison's through 3 2/3. He's thrown a total of 68 pitches, and they're going to let him keep going. He's got a tough task to deal with, however. Daniel Cabrera 1 for 2 already tonight. And one of the best bats in the Harwich Mariners lineup. As the meeting concludes, Ron Polk walks back to the dugout, and the runners retreat back to their respective bags. So it'll be 1st and 3rd with 2 down when this at-bat begins. Cabrera still working his way into the left side of the box. Home plate umpire Tim Carey gets back behind Hackenberg at the plate. The infield's playing back with Ian Fair holding on the runner at first. And Hyannis looking to minimize damage in the bottom of the 4th inning. Pitch. Fastball low. And again, this is a team, Hyannis, they can put together a lot of runs. They had a really great stretch going for a while where their offense was scoring at will. Madison's ready, the 1-0 offering. Fastball hits the outer edge, and it's 1-1. They had that 13-8 win over Bourne in Game 2 of a doubleheader. They scored 10 runs out at Spillane Field against the first-place Wareham Gatemen, even though that ended up being a loss. The offense was scorching. Now it's just hit a little bit of a cold spurt, but they're looking to get it going once again. 1-1, down low, and it's 2 balls, 1 strike. But once again, they've gone 19 straight innings without scoring a run. Shut out last night by Franco Alamon and the Falmouth Commodores. But Tyler Madison, the best arm for the Hyannis Ball Club, looking to be the stopper here. He sets at the belt, ready with the 2-1. Cabrera takes a fastball just low and away. So a borderline strike from Madison. Couldn't quite get the call. Hyannis is a team to this point. They've lost 3 straight. They've lost 6 of their last 7. The one win coming in a 2-0 victory out at Eldridge Park. 2-0 Harwich the score here. Pitch, swing and a miss, and the count levels. Or rather, it goes to 3-2. So it'll be a full count to Cabrera with 2 away. Runners on first and third. Pat Winkle will be taking off with the pitch as there's nobody in front of him at second. Madison gets the sign from Hackenberg, the 3-2. Swinging a ground ball right at the third baseman, Olson. He gloves, fires across the diamond, and it's just in time, beating Cabrera by a half step. That'll end the inning. So the Mariners put up an additional run on an RBI single from Pat Winkle, but Madison does a good job minimizing damage in the bottom of the 4th. Harwich, 1 run on 3 hits, no errors, 2 left on. Through 4 innings of play, it's Mariners 2, Harbor Hawks nothing. We'll go to the top of the 5th when we come back on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Hyannis set to bring the bottom third of their order to the dish in the top of the 5th inning. They trail the Harwich Mariners here at White House Field by a score of 2-0. Harwich has put up 2 runs on 5 hits. Hyannis just 3 base knocks to their name to this point in the ballgame as Mitch McIntyre makes his way up to the plate. Adam Hackenberg and Anthony Servideo to follow in the frame. McIntyre on his night 0 for 1. He was a strikeout victim the first time around. He came up back in the 2nd inning. Connor McCullough up on top of the rubber for Harwich as he's into his motion. First delivery, fastball high and wide. So Hyannis just trying to look for any sort of spark offensively. Lyle touched upon earlier on in the ball game, this offense come to a sputtering halt. They were red hot earlier on in the frame, and now the catcher Winkle out from his position behind the plate. He wants to have a quick chat as the count moves to 2-0 on McIntyre. And McCullough tonight has racked up half a dozen punch-outs, and one of them coming to the hitter in the left-handed box, McIntyre. That was the 4th victim that McCullough had set down on his night. Hyannis 3 hits to this point and 3 men stranded on base as well. Tyler Madison has worked himself out of a couple of jams in the last few frames. 2-0 comes into McIntyre. Fastball upstairs to the letters. And the BYU outfielder's put himself in the driver's seat 3-0. McCullough looking to avoid a leadoff walk. 3-0. Fastball on the inside corner, a called strike. And just a scoreboard watch a little bit. Of course, Hyannis looking up at the Bourne Braves at the bottom of the Western Division. They're trailing the YD Red Sox 9-4 out at Red Wilson Field. 3-1 fastball upstairs, and McIntyre is able to draw a leadoff walk. So McCullough loses the BYU product. He heads down to first base, and Adam Hackenberg makes his way up to the dish. 1 on and nobody away. Hackenberg 0 for 1 as well tonight. It was a fly up to the left fielder Gowan the first time around in the 3rd. Lights have been flicked on here from White House Field. Packed house tonight. Grandstand's filled up just about all the way around. His first off-speed delivery upstairs and inside to Hackenberg. Count 1-0. Hyannis trying to strike back, trailing by 2 on the scoreboard, trying to split the season series with the Harwich Mariners. 1-0. Fastball at the knees, a called strike to even the count. For the final trip to White House Field in 2019 for Hyannis. Hackenberg steps out, gets some pine tar on the gloves before stepping back in. They fell by a score of 6-0 the first time around they came out to Harwich. McCullough from the stretch of 1-1. Off-speed pitch outside, 2 balls and a strike to Hackenberg. And Lyle, your final trip here to White House Field.
Very true.
Short lead at first for the runner McIntyre. Pitch in, Hackenberg swings, sends it in the air to center field. Marshak coming in, dives, and he can't make the catch. It rolls past him. Around second, headed to third is McIntyre. Adam Hackenberg's going to trot into second, standing up without a throw. So it'll be 2 in scoring position as Marshak gave it a run out in center field. Laid out full extension as he hit the deck. Was unable to come up with the baseball. It rolled about 5 feet behind him and gave Hackenberg the opportunity to advance up to second base. So the first piece of real hard contact that Hackenberg or any of the Hyannis bats have had tonight off McCullough. The 4th hit of the evening. Now McIntyre up to third base and 2 in scoring position for Anthony Servideo.
Yeah, and a nice job there by Adam Hackenberg. Just squares one up to straightaway center field, and the center fielder Marshak just couldn't quite make the play, although a good dive.
So Servideo steps in an RBI opportunity, but he watches the fastball catch the inside corner, good for a strike, 0-1. Anthony on his night, 0 for 1, struck out in his first plate appearance. A chance for RBIs 3 and 4 if he can punch one through the outfield as he backs out of the way of an inside breaking ball. Count evens a ball and a strike. Harwich has struck for 1 in the first inning and put up 1 more in the last frame of the 4th. Hyannis threatening here in the 5th as Servideo takes the fastball low and inside. 2-1 the count. Just a 159 average for the Ole Miss Rebel. But picked up an RBI just a couple of nights ago, trying to jumpstart his summer in the bottom of this Hyannis order. 3-1 the count as McCullough missed downstairs with a fastball. So McCullough's already given up 1 free pass here in the 5th. That was to start off the frame to Mitch McIntyre, who now stands 90 feet away from the first run for Hyannis of the ballgame. 3-1 downstairs, and that's going to be a walk for Servideo to load the bases. And Jordan Westberg making his way to the plate, back to the top of the order for the Harbor Hawks. And a great opportunity here in the 5th with the bases juiced and nobody away.
Well, for Servideo, just works a good count there. Not trying to do too much. And again, he's a guy that's really, really good at working counts and drawing walks. That's now his 14th of the summer. He's working his way up the league ranks in base on balls. And McCullough's really into his first trouble of the night.
And so now a meeting will come on the mound here for the starter, Connor McCullough, who's worked himself into his first real trouble of the night against Hyannis. Jordan Westberg will be the hitter when action resumes. And of course, McCullough has only allowed 1 earned run on his entire summer. Hyannis, an offense that's looking to break out of a scoreless streak that now sits at 19 innings. And a team that has really, really struggled offensively, a great chance to strike back. As Ron Polk has emerged from the dugout, having a quick conference with Westberg as well as the 3 base runners in McIntyre, Hackenberg, and Servideo, just to the left of the home plate area. Meeting on the mound with Connor McCullough still going. So when Westberg steps in, it'll be a chance for RBIs 9, 10, and potentially 11. Westberg, of course, with 3 long balls in his first 3 games as a Hyannis Harbor Hawk this summer. Got off to a blistering start and with 2 hits tonight. Certainly a huge, huge threat posed to the Harwich Mariners at the top of the order. So meeting concludes. Infield back to their positions. Runners for the Harbor Hawks back to their respective bags. As Westberg steps in against McCullough for the 3rd time. He's got him for a single and a double tonight. And a chance for Hyannis to try and even the ball game up. First offering, fastball outside, 1-0. And Westberg this season, with runners on base, a 300 hitter. With runners in scoring position, a 385 hitter and 5 RBIs. So this is a guy that knows how to swing the bat in clutch moments as he swings at a fastball, sends it on the ground to short. Noisy to second for 1, on to first. Not in time as Westberg's able to beat it out. The run comes in. That's Mitch McIntyre crossing the plate. So give Westberg his 9th RBI of the season as he beats out a fielder's choice. Adam Hackenberg moves up to 3rd. He's 90 feet away from tying the ball game. There's Servideo, the runner that's erased. It'll be men on the corners for Rigsby Mosley.
Well, it's a little bit fitting. The first run before that streak started was an Ian Fair RBI fielder's choice. It ends with an RBI fielder's choice, that time from Jordan Westberg. But any way that gets the job done, it cuts the lead in half.
And McCullough still not out of the woods yet, having to face another threat from Troy Rigsby Mosley, an outfielder by trade, but of course a DH tonight, slotted into the second spot in the lineup for Hyannis. Rigsby's been picking it up lately with the bat. However, just a 2-11 hitter with men in scoring position, but he sends this one a blooper over the head of the shortstop, Noisy, into left field. That's going to tie the ball game. So an RBI single for Rigsby Mosley. He sends Jordan Westberg up to second, and Rigsby picks up his 7th RBI of the summer, and just like that, it's a brand new ball game here from White House Field.
He just takes it the other way, slaps it over the shortstop Noisy, and it falls in front of the left fielder Galland. Blink of an eye, Hyannis has tied it up, so the offense starting to get going.
So the first 5 men in the inning have been able to reach. Now it's Trevor Hopper stepping in with 2 on and 1 out. That time is gone, and then this looks like it might be the end of the night for McCullough. Trevor Hopper will step out. And the meeting on the mound with the rest of the infield, as well as the backstop Winkle. No signal to the bullpen just yet. There is a southpaw trotting in from the bullpen. That is going to be Connor McCullough's evening here from White House Field. Tie ball game here. Top of the 5th inning. Hyannis has struck for 2. We'll have the pitching change for you on the other side of the break on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Trevor Hopper stepping back to the plate off the pitching change here from White House Field in Harwich. Mariners are going to turn to a southpaw from Notre Dame. It's Tommy Vale, making his 6th appearance on the summer in a Mariner uniform. An 0-1 record, an ERA of 4 on the nose. 9 innings pitched for him on the summer. Walked 5, struck out 13 while surrendering 6 hits. He inherits a 1-out, 2 runners aboard situation as Hopper steps in from the left side. Vale from the stretch, first pitch, fastball inside. Jackknives Hopper out of the box a couple of steps, count 1-0. And for Tommy Vale, last time he made an appearance was at Eldridge Park against the Orleans Firebirds, in which he took the loss. Went 3 innings, gave up 1 run on 1 hit, walked 3 and struck out 4. Left-hander kicks and fires, fastball on the inside corner to even the count to Hopper, 1-1. Of course, Vale plays his college ball at Notre Dame, but Lyle, from your neck of the woods, Seattle, Washington. Left-hander trying to shut down this Hyannis lineup that struck back for 2 to tie the ball game. Middle innings here from White House, 1-1. Fastball down and away.
And a guy who's really trying to help out the Harwich Ball Club here. And he went to Bishop Blanchette High School in Washington. So that's in Seattle. That's in the actual city of Seattle. One of the prep schools, one of the Catholic schools in Seattle, and now he goes to a Catholic school at Notre Dame.
Left-hander gives a couple of checks back to second. Now fires a 2-1. Haber swings, sends one in the air to shallow right center. Moving back on it, Marshak now coming in a few steps. He's got under it, and he'll make the catch. So Haber, an 0 for 3 night. And that'll bring up Hunter Goodman with 2 down. Well, you talk about Vail attending some Catholic schools out in Seattle, now, of course, at Notre Dame. But I feel like we've been in Seattle for the majority of the summer with how much rain we've had here on Cape Cod.
Oh, I know. And even tonight, I mean, there's no forecast for rain, but for a while, there were some dark, dark clouds coming over White House Field.
A bit of an overcast night just kind of makes you hold your breath a little bit.
Especially the way this summer's gone.
Goodman steps into the right-handed batter's box, got a chance for another RBI. Already the leader on the Cape as he swings and misses through a first pitch fastball 0-1. Now you talk about the rain. Of course, Hyannis had a game at home at McKeon Park that was wiped away in the 3rd inning against the Orleans Firebirds. And we didn't think there was any forecasted rain for that night, although if any, it was very, very limited. Rain wound up coming down hard enough to wipe away that ball game. 0-1. Breaking ball through the legs of the catcher, Winkle. Both runners are going to advance. Jordan Westberg up to third, Rigsby Mosley up to second base. So 2 in scoring position now at the hands of Hunter Goodman. And this is where Hunter has thrived this season. Runners in scoring position. A .310 hitter under that category. But with 2 outs, has faltered a little bit. 154 the clip. Digs in here. He's got an 0-2 count against Vail, trying to evade any more trouble from Hyannis here in the 5th inning. Memphis Tiger pinwheels the bat toward Vail, who comes set at the chest. A pause, now the 0-2. Fastball, called strike 3 on the outside corner. Vail blows a heater by Goodman as he goes down looking. The first strikeout from the Notre Dame southpaw, but the damage has been done. Hyannis comes back and ties the ball game. It's a brand new one from White House Field. 2-2 here on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Harwich back to the plate, and it's a tie ball game. Tyler Madison, a brand new outing for him on the hill. Not working with a deficit any longer. Chris Gowan, Nico Cavadas, and Christian Fetko to the plate for the Mariners here in the 5th inning. As the Bryant Bulldog into the windup, fires, swing and a miss through a high off-speed delivery. Gowan on his night, a single and an RBI in the 1st inning. Reached on a hit by pitch in the 3rd. He swiped 2 bags as well tonight. Of course, always a threat to do that. Really flashes some wheels on the base pads. Madison's 0-1 delivery. Another fastball that catches the inside corner. Gowan quickly finds himself down 0-2, trying to reach base for the 3rd time tonight and set the table for Nico Cavadas and Christian Fetko. Of course, the man on deck, Cavadas, always a threat to strike at any time. Madison's 0-2. Fastball up high, had one to waste. Left it at the letters, couldn't get Gowan to go after it. A ball and 2 strikes the count. Madison, a good tempo to him. The 1-2 delivery. Breaking ball spiked in the dirt. Chested up by Hackenberg. Count levels. Well, Madison's given up his share of hits on the night. 5 on the board. But worked into a groove through the 2nd and 3rd innings. 2-2 offering. Fastball Swatted back foul off the backstop. Count holds. So the Harwich offense doing what they can against Madison, who has been really, really effective this season for Hyannis to this point. But what's really kept them in the game has been their pitching. Hyannis lineup able to chase Connor McCullough out of the game and work into the bullpen. Madison's next 2-2 offering, breaking ball in the dirt. Count swells full. So Gowan goes from 0-2 to 3-2. Gowan waves the bat toward Madison a couple times, gets his sign on the mound. The payoff pitch, fastball, popped up foul back over the press box, out of play. Well, Lyle, we talk about the alarming amount of pitchers duels that Hyannis has been in. Makes for some quick ball games, but late inning drama down the stretch the last couple of nights. We could be in for another one here from White House Field. Tie ball game, teams even in across the scoreboard as the 3-2 is sent on a line in the air to center field. That's going to drop in front of Mitch McIntyre. Gowan takes a wide turnaround first, but he'll put the brakes on there as the throw comes back into Servideo. A 2-hit night for Chris Gowan, and he starts off the 5th inning nicely for Harwich. That sets the table for Nico Cavadas, who's making his way to the plate.
And it looks like that might be it for Madison. I think Travis Poole, who's the acting head coach tonight, was going to let him go into the 5th until he let up a base runner, and now he makes his way out to the mound after the Gallen single.
Now Madison pitch count at 82 and an arm coming in from the bullpen. We'll have that for you on the other side of the break here on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Nico Cavadas makes his way back to the plate off the pitching change, and we have a Cape Cod debut on our hands. It's Landon Kelly, the right-handed arm out of Memphis, teammate of Hunter Goodman. And in 2019, Kelly went 2-3 in 19 appearances, pitched 42 and a third innings for the Tigers, gave up 56 hits and 27 earned, walked 13 and struck out 37. And what a way to start the summer. Well, you mentioned off the air just a couple of moments ago, having to face Nico Cavadas, one of the best power bats on Cape Cod this summer. First pitch and off speed, up and away. A runner aboard at first, and Chris Gowan, who started this inning off with a single to chase Tyler Madison from this ball game. And for Kelly as well in 2019 for the Memphis squad, a 5.70 ERA as he checks over on first. Back in with a head first slide, Chris Gowan. Kelly redshirted in 2018. Back on the mound in 2019 with the Tigers. And he's made his way up here to Cape Cod late in the season. Cavadas set in the box, is spinning the throw back to first. This time a bit closer, and that looks like it's going to be a balk. So Landon Kelly a bit antsy up on the rubber. The umpires are going to give Chris Gowan second base. So Cavadas with a chance for an RBI. It would be his 23rd if he finds a way to pick it up. And now Travis Poole coming out. Perhaps a bit confused with why Landon Kelly was charged with the block. Now he returns to the dugout. Just a quick word for the field umpire, Mark Chamberlain. Bit of an overcast night. We talked about the rain a little bit ago. More clouds starting to roll in over White House Field as we enter the middle frames. 1-0 count, a runner at second, nobody away in the Harwich half of the inning. Pitch to Cavadas, off speed, in for a strike at the knees to even the count 1-1. And Cavadas tonight has reached base one time. That was a walk that came in the third inning. Also was flown out to center in his first at bat. That's to Mitch McIntyre. Gave him a ride toward the alley. Kelly set 1-1 offering. Cavadas checked his swing. No appeal down to third. Now there's an appeal. No swing nonetheless. So the count 2-1 in favor of the Notre Dame bat. Christian Fetko, the second baseman, taking some practice cuts in the on-deck area. Landon Kelly stands at 6'1", 222 pounds. Trying to work Hyannis out of the fifth inning. 2-1 offering. Breaking ball, Cavadas chops at it, sends it down the right field line, foul. So Tyler Madison went 4+ in this ball game, gave up 6 hits. His line is still open. Chris Gowan out at second base is his responsibility. Walked just 1 and struck out 4 in his outing. So another pretty efficient outing for the Bryant Bulldog. He's had so many of them this season. Kelly set, gives a couple of looks to second. Double takes now at 2-2. Cavadas swings and fouls one off the mask of Hackenberg toward the backstop. Count holds and we'll do it again. So Kelly redshirted his freshman season, but back in his high school days, posted a 6-2 record with a 2.90 ERA. But he was also a two-way player. He hit .342 as a senior and laced 16 doubles. So a guy that could do it in all phases of the game just a couple of years ago. But on the mound here as he fires a 2-2 fastball that misses low and in. Kelly only made 3 starts in the season with the Memphis Tigers in his 19 appearances, so primarily a bullpen guy, and that's where he comes out here in his Hyannis debut. He's got a 3-2 count to a big bat in Nico Cavadas with nobody out in the Harwich fifth. Comes set, fires. Cavadas swings a ground ball right side foul past Ian Fair. So Nico Cavadas just missing his 23rd RBI by a matter of inches as Ian Fair gave it a look past the first base bag. Outstretched his glove just in case to try and keep that one from rolling all the way into the corner. And Cavadas provided with another chance. The count stays full at 3-2. Slight wind blowing across the ballpark as Kelly comes set. At the chest, the next 3-2 in the dirt. And it gets away from the catcher Hackenberg, but Cavadas is down to first base. He's got his second walk of the evening. Or rather, I think that one might have got Cavadas on the inside part of the knee. So a hit by pitch surrendered by the Memphis Tiger. Now Christian Fetko making his way up to the plate. Runner Chris Gowan had taken off with the pass ball. Or rather, he returns to second as the hit by pitch is recorded. So Fetko steps in. Third time he's been to the plate tonight. 0 for 2 on his evening so far. Fly out to left and a strikeout back in the third inning. He was the third victim of Tyler Madison tonight. Kelly comes set, couple runners aboard. First pitch, a breaking ball, good for a strike. Now, Landon Kelly's certainly a guy that knows how to throw the baseball atop the rubber. Played for Team Tennessee in the 2015 Junior Sun Belt National Championship. You go back a few years, a guy that's been very, very effective in the game of baseball. Swing and a miss from Fetko over the top of an off-speed delivery. And the count 0-2. Gowan at second, Cavadas at first. Harwich trying to strike back and take the lead back here at home. Most of the crowd still on hand from White House. 0-2 count as Fetko waves the bat toward Kelly on the hill. Ball dangling in his right hand. Comes set. He's ready for an 0-2. The pitch. Fetko pops it up left side in foul ground. Hackenberg ranging after it toward the fence, but he'll watch it go out of play. So Fetko putting up a really tough at bat with 2 strikes. Giving Landon Kelly all he can handle and then some here in his Cape Cod League debut. And of course, in a league as prestigious as the Cape Cod League, wow, got to be hard to try and keep your heart rate down out here on the mound in front of scouts and fans and friends and family alike. The spotlight is on the Memphis right-hander right now. He's got a 0-2 count here against Fetko. He's fouled off a couple of tough ones as the right-hander comes home. Breaking ball outside, count 1-2.
Yeah, it's definitely different. It's different than anything Kelly's probably ever pitched in. From his time at Memphis to here on the Cape League. No disrespect to the American Athletic Conference, but just there isn't the same quite type of talent that you'll find here on the elbow of Massachusetts.
It is elite competition at its finest as the 1-2 comes in. Fastball just off the outer edge of the plate. Hackenberg trying to give Kelly the frame, but unsuccessful. The count levels 2 balls, 2 strikes. And we talked about the 8 All-Stars for the Harwich Mariners a bit earlier on in the broadcast, and it really just highlights how much talent there is there on the Cape. Hyannis saw the Chatham Anglers a couple of nights ago, and a home and home set over the weekend. They have 8 All-Stars as well. 2-2 from Kelly. Breaking ball slicing down the left field line, but well fouled toward the Mariner bullpen. Hyannis, of course, with just 3 All-Stars. Tyler Madison, the starter tonight, along with Hunter Goodman and Jared DeSangelo, who we have not seen tonight. That All-Star game set to take place at Eldridge Park this upcoming Sunday. But before that, Hyannis will seek it 2 at a pair of times, as well as the Wareham Gateman sandwich in between that. At a home contest at McKeon Park. Kelly, a long stare down at Hackenberg. He's got a 2-2 count here at Fetko, who's been hanging tough. Couple of checks to second. Now time is called at the plate. Fetko taking a step out. A really, really long at bat here. Kelly wipes some sweat off the bill of his cap. Still nobody out here in the Harwich part of the 5th. Hyannis put up 2 in the top of the frame to tie the ball game. Harwich with the double, or rather a single from Chris Gowan to start off this frame, has taken the lead back in the hit column, 6-5. 2-2 comes in, chopper toward Olsen at third, plays it on the forehand, and the slide into third from the runner, Gowan. He comes off the bag, and he's going to be called out. A bit of a wild sequence as it was a high chopper to Olsen, who put it on an in-between hop. Decided to try and tag Gowan, who had to come to third on the play. Gowan slid into the bag, kind of tripped over it as he fell into foul ground. Olsen held the tag on. So they get the lead runner, but reaching first base, Christian Fetko after a long, long at bat. Up to second base is Nico Cavadas, and now that sets the table for Joey Weimer Jr. That's one of the more wilder plays you'll ever see. And Olsen's done that a couple times, deciding to go for the tag on the lead runner. This time, it being successful for the first out of the 5th inning. First pitch from Kelly to Weimer is fouled back over the press box and out of play. That one looks like it might have been snagged by a fan back there, getting a round of applause. I'll have to see that one on the replay later. Maybe somebody got that one on video. SportsCenter Top 10 alert.
Maybe it might have been somebody in the merchandise shop. That's what people are looking over at. We can't tell from where we're sitting, just down the first baseline. But
judging by the crowd reaction, it was a heck of a grab. 0-1 to Weimer. Breaking ball in for a strike. It's 0-2. Landon Kelly in search of his first Cape League strikeout. 0-2 count with 1 away here in the 5th inning from White House Field. Tie ball game at 2 apiece. Battle between 2 last place squads. Hyannis trying to hang on to their playoff hopes by a thread. Kelly set his 0-2 offering. Fastball, Weimer sends it on the ground to short. Westberg goes to Servideo to second for 1. Return to first, not in time as Weimer beats it out by a step. So Westberg trying to spin the double play. He got it to Servideo at second to retire Fetko. Weimer Jr. busting down the line, able to beat it out and extend the inning. So 2 on with men on the corners for Chris Lanzilli.
First baseman, Wake Forest, Chris Lanzilli.
Well, Servideo, a good throw from second, a quick field and turn. He had to throw across his body, but Weimer blazing down the line, he just beat it. It was close. He could have gone either way.
So Landon Kelly walks up the back of the hill toward the rubber, awaiting Chris Lanzilli to take his spot in the right-handed batter's box. Men on the corners, 2 down. Harwich just 90 feet away from snatching the lead back here from White House Field. Kelly from the stretch, first offering, breaking ball, check swing. Appeal down to first base. He does not go. So the count of ball and no strikes. Lanzilli, 1 for 2 on his evening, came into the night a 154 hitter. Part of the quartet of guys at the bottom of the Harwich lineup that are hitting under the Mendoza line. Trying to climb the average back up and pick up an RBI, which would be Lanzilli's 5th of the season. And it would be a big one here in the middle innings. 0-1. Breaking ball just off the outer part of the plate. And the ball and a strike to the Harwich first baseman. And you talk about a battle of 2 last place teams. Hyannis looking up at the Bourne Braves. Scoreboard watching a little bit. The YD Red Sox took the contest against Bourne 9-4 tonight as the fastball missed outside. 2-1 the count. So Bourne following Hyannis, trying to salvage the season series and split it here against these Harwich Mariners on the road. Spinning a check back to first. No tag applied by Fair. Diving in head first, the runner Weimer Jr. So Landon Kelly being thrown in out of the bullpen in relief of Tyler Madison in a big spot, trying to keep this game deadlocked. 2-1. Fastball good for a strike right down central. And it's Deuces Wild here in the Harwich 5th. Memphis Tiger comes into a stretch after getting a sign from Hackenberg. Runners on the corners, a 2-2 pitch. Fastball outside, count fills. Harwich really forcing Kelly to work out of the bullpen. Recorded both outs here in the 5th inning after Chris Gowan singled. And that was the last batter Tyler Madison got to face tonight. He worked 4+. 3-2 from Kelly. Breaking ball popped up right side in foul ground. Hackenberg losing the mask, running after it toward the dugout. It's going to be Ian Fair to call him off and make the grab, coming in on the run toward the Hyannis dugout, and that ends the inning. So an athletic play from the Northeastern Husky to end the Harwich half of the 5th inning. And the Mariners strand 2 aboard. Landon Kelly able to work out of an inning, his first on Cape Cod. And this game still stays tied at 2 apiece. We go to the 6th here on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Ian Fair, Jackson Olsen, and Mitch McIntyre to the plate for Hyannis, trying to take the lead here at White House Field in the top of the 6th. Reliever Tommy Vale out of Notre Dame back on the hill for Harwich. Ian Fair steps in, the man who made the play to retire the side in the Harwich half of the 5th inning. Steps in for the third time, trying to change an 0 for 2-9 as he watches a fastball low and in. So for Ian Fair on the season, it's a .438 average for him. It was 3 for his first 7 in his first stint with Hyannis this summer. He's made his return. He's been a pretty big bat as he sends this one in the air to shot to left center. Ranging after it, Gowan and Marshak, and it'll be the left fielder to call him off and make the grab for the first out. So Fair goes down 0 for 3 tonight. Saw just a couple of pitches off Tommy Vale. That'll bring up Jackson Olsen with one down.
Third baseman from Hartford, Jackson Olsen.
So Hyannis has seen a few all-star arms over the course of the last couple nights. The starter tonight, Connor McCullough, one of them. He worked 4 1/3 in this ball game, gave up 5 hits, 2 runs, walked 2, and struck out 6. And he was absolutely phenomenal as Olsen takes the first pitch strike on the inside corner. And of course, last night, Franco Alamon from the Falmouth Commodores, 7 shutout innings against Hyannis. A 1. Breaking ball spun low and away out of the zone. Count evens a ball and a strike. And after Alamon last night, it didn't get any easier. Another all-star, Logan Hoffman, tossed a scoreless inning, struck out all 3 Hyannis hitters in that frame. Olsen swings and fouls one back off to the left. Count 1 and 2. The night before that, the Arizona State Sun Devil, as part of the Chatham Anglers, R.J. Dabovich, struck out 9 in his relief appearance. That was on a way to a Chatham victory out at Veterans Field. 1-2. Breaking ball, weak wave and a miss, strike 3. And Tommy Vale picks up his second strikeout of his outing. A quick 2 up, 2 down. That'll bring in Mitch McIntyre. And then Mitch on the night spent aboard once. He walked and came around to score in the 5th inning. That was the first run on the board for Hyannis tonight. Also was struck out once back in the 2nd. On the BYU outfielder, a .217 hitter entering the night. Trying to pick up Hyannis' 6th hit of the ball game. Takes a look at a strike at the knee level, 0-1. And it's been an entertaining ball game throughout to this point as we work here into the 6th inning. Vale from his windup. McIntyre swings and pops one up left side. That one drifting well foul beyond the Harwich bullpen out of play. Well, the count 0-2 to the BYU product. Harwich infield playing back with nobody aboard and 2 down. Tommy Vale trying to make it a clean 6th inning and go 1-2-3 to get his Harwich bats back to the dish. The 0-2. Breaking ball upstairs at about the shoulders of McIntyre, laid off of it. A ball and 2 strikes with Adam Hackenberg waiting on deck. Vale's 1-2 offering. Breaking ball downstairs by the shoot tops. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Deuce says wild to McIntyre, nobody aboard. And McIntyre was a part of the lineup last time Hyannis came here to White House Field. That was on June the 28th. He went 0 for 3 in that one. 2-2. Swung on in the air to right center field. Drifting back, Marshak a bit. Now comes in a few steps, racing over the right fielder, Weimer. He'll make the catch on the move. And that ends the inning. McIntyre gave one a ride out to right center. Joey Weimer Jr. cut off some distance and made the grab on the run. And Hyannis goes 1-2-3 in the 6th. It's the Mariners 2, the Harbor Hawks 2. Bottom 6 coming up on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Harwich set to send up the bottom third of the order to the plate in the bottom of the sixth inning. This game has slowed down a little bit as Landon Kelly back on the hill for his second inning in relief. Was able to wiggle out of a jam in the fifth inning to strand a couple of Harwich runners aboard. This ball game has stayed tied at 2-2. Hyannis struck for a pair in the fifth inning to tie up the ball game. Offense finally breaking through. They broke a streak of 19 scoreless innings. As we sit here in the bottom of the sixth inning, Kelly fires in an off-speed pitch in for a strike, 0-1 to the hitter, Pat Winkle. And Winkle's already had himself quite a night. 1 for 2 and has picked up his 8th RBI of the summer. 0-1. That's good for a strike at the top of the zone again. Picking out a spot with an 0-2 pitch. Or an 0-1 fastball, rather. Now the count resides 0-2. Dylan Noisy and Max Marshak. 0-2 pitch misses down and away. A ball and 2 strikes now to the hitter Winkle. A 160 average for Pat coming into the night. Bottom of this Harwich order trying to jumpstart something, provide a spark against the Memphis Tiger Landon Kelly. 1-2 offering from the right-hander. Fastball, swing and a miss, strike 3. The first Cape League strikeout for Landon Kelly, and it comes to Pat Winkle for the first out here in the bottom of the sixth inning. That'll bring up Dylan Noisy, 0 for 2 on his evening.
Number 10, the shortstop from
So the shortstop digs in from the right side.
Noisy.
Kelly was able to induce a flyout and foul ground to end the Harwich half of the fifth inning. Chris Lanzilli got under one. Ian Fair ranged over to grab it. That stranded a runner at third base, so would have gave Harwich the lead back. A number off the end of the bat here from Noisy. Off the mound, Kelly to get it. Fires to first to Fair in plenty of time. So 2 up and 2 down now for Max Marshak here in the sixth inning. So a 1-3 put out for the pitcher off the mound. Kelly, an athletic play to go get it. And speaking of athletic plays from pitchers, Jonathan Hughes a couple nights ago out in Chatham made one of the better ones you might see from a hurler. It was a pop-off off a bunt attempt down the first baseline. Hughes darted off the mound toward the first baseline, made a full extension grab. Breaking ball off the outer edge of the plate, ball 1 to the hitter Max Marshak. But that catch from Hughes, an unbelievable effort off the hill. Kelly into his motion, squaring to bunt as Marshak lays one down the third baseline, but it'll roll foul as Olsen goes to pick it up. Now Marshak an 0 for 2 evening. Ground out to second and a strikeout that came in the fourth inning. Marshak making a slow walk back to the plate will pick up his piece of lumber. He's got a count of 0-1. Landon Kelly with a much slower tempo than that of Tyler Madison, the Bryan Bulldog. Landon plays his college ball at Memphis, of course, a teammate of Hunter Goodman, who's out in right field. 0-1. Bounding ball to shortstop. Westberg infields the glove side. Off balance throw to first in time, inning over. So a rather quick 3 up, 3 down for Harwich here in the sixth inning. They go 1-2-3. Landon Kelly looking good out of the bullpen. Still 2-2 here from White House Field when we return on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. 8, 9, and 1 to the plate for Hyannis here in the top of the 7th. We work into the late frames of the ball game. Tommy Vale still on the hill for Harwich. He worked a 1, 2, 3, 6th inning. Got a couple of flyouts and a strikeout to Jackson Olsen. And now it's Adam Hackenberg digging in from the right side. First pitch from the southpaw. Fastball upstairs at the letters. Count 1-0. Matter of fact, it was 6 up and 6 down for the two sides combined in the 6th inning. So the bullpen's really paying dividends. 1-0. Fastball in the dirt. Spiked up to Winkle behind the plate. So Hackenberg finds himself ahead 2 balls and no strikes. 1 for 2 on Adams' evening. Fly out to left in the 3rd. Doubled and score later on in the 5th. Tommy Vale has been ever so effective out of the Mariner bullpen. He's picked up a pair of strikeouts as Hackenberg cuts and misses through a fastball inside. Count 2-1. Hackenberg trying to spark something for Hyannis in the 7th inning. 2-1 pitch comes in. Fastball called strike low in the zone. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So this Hyannis offense, a lineup that put up just 9 runs over their last 6 games, is struck for 2 tonight. The 2-2 comes into Hackenberg, swing and a miss, strike 3. Tommy Vale pumps a fastball by the Clemson Tiger. 3rd strikeout of the night for Vale out of the bullpen, and now it's Anthony Servideo out of the number 9 spot with nobody on and 1 down. But back to the Hyannis lineup for just a second, Lyle. It's an offense that's struggled mightily over the last couple of nights. 2 runs tonight, but it's been enough. A tie ball game here from White House Field. The pitching once again is held up nicely. First pitch to Anthony. Fastball outside corner, good for a strike.
Yeah, and it's just another pitcher's duel tonight. Again, 2-2. Here we are in the 7th inning. Both sides have thrown the ball really well. Madison and McCullough both keeping their teams in the game.
0-1. Big looping breaking ball. Same spot, same result. Strike 2. Servideo dropping the bat down to his foot. Not exactly pleased with that last call from home plate umpire Tim Carey. Vale into his motion. 0-2. Downstairs. Had one to waste. Couldn't entice Servideo. A ball and 2 strikes to count. But Tally Madison again, time and time again this season, he's been Mr. Consistency for Hyannis. He's had a couple of rocky outings, but able to work around it as a 1-2 is dropped in for a strike. A breaking ball, outer half of the plate, gets Servideo looking. Back-to-back Ks to start off the 7th inning for Tommy Vale, make it 4 on his night. That'll bring up Jordan Westberg back to the top of the Hyannis order.
And he's used that breaking ball well. He's worked it to both sides of the plate, keeps it fairly low in the zone. And that one just right on the outer half to free Servideo.
So Westberg has been up 3 times, has been aboard 3 times, and he's picked up his 9th RBI of the summer. Trying to bust through here against Tommy Vale as he watches a fastball up in the zone, a called strike. We knew Westberg was due for a breakout sooner rather than later. And perhaps you could flag tonight's ball game as the breakout. 0-1. Cutting a miss through a fastball again. Vale's got some late life to that heater. Against Westberg behind 0-2 with 2 down. Nobody aboard. Mississippi State Bulldog steps out. Half a practice swing as he gets some pine tar on the gloves and steps back in. Tommy Vale 1 pitch away from striking out the side. The 0-2. Foul tipped off the glove of the catcher. Winkle to the backstop. So Westberg doing what he can to stay alive against Vale. Picked up 37 strikeouts in his school season at Notre Dame. He's a fastball cutter guy, so a lot of hard stuff as an 0-2 comes in. Westberg pops it up behind the dish, losing the mask. Winkle as he ranges toward the backstop, but that'll get out of play. Westberg getting just enough behind that to get it out of play and out of the reach of Winkle as he stays alive on 0-2. A lot of tough at-bats here in the late frames from White House Field. These hitters doing what they can in a tense ball game, tied at 2 apiece. It's been a lot of late inning drama for Hyannis as of late. 0-2 from Vale again. Breaking ball, slap third base side, just foul by inches. Field umpire Mark Chamberlain waving the hands in the air as Westberg darted down the first baseline. He thought he had another base hit. That one probably would have rolled for days toward the Harwich bullpen. Left fielder Chris Gowan playing a bit shaded towards center field. Westberg returns back to the box. He's got his piece of lumber. Count still holds it out. No balls and 2 strikes. Tommy Vale, Fan, Hackenberg, and Servideo for the first 2 outs. And you can't get Westberg here as he pops up a fastball foul out of play. So this game, of course, a big one for Hyannis. They currently sit at 13 points. That is last in the Western Division. They trail Bourne by 11 entering tonight. Bourne has already lost. So if Hyannis can find a way to squeak out a win, it would go a long way standings-wise as the fastball misses high and away. The ball and 2 strikes to Westberg. Bourne with the loss fell to 12-17 on the summer. Hyannis will see them a pair of times out at Doran Park next week as a 1-2. Breaking ball in the dirt. Spiked up to Winkle behind the plate. Tommy Vale trying to get Westberg to go after one out of the zone. And the count levels 2 balls, 2 strikes. Hyannis picked up just 2 road wins this season. 2-11-1, the record away from McKeon Park. 2-2. Fastball called strike 3 on the inside corner. Tommy Vale, another heater, gets Westberg looking. 5 strikeouts on the night and 3 in the inning to retire the side by way of the K. Mariners 2, Harbor Hawks 2. We'll go to the bottom of the 7th when we come back on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Harwich sending their top of the lineup to the plate in the bottom of the 7th inning with the right-hander Landon Kelly back on the mound from Memphis. He's going to get the sign and fire to Daniel Cabrera. First pitch off speed for a called strike. So Kelly came on to relieve Tyler Madison of his duties. He's thrown the last 2 frames. 2-2 the score in the bottom of the 7th as he fires home a fastball. This one misses away. Cabrera on the day 1 for 3 with a run scored. Singled back in the first, then later stole a base and came around on an RBI single from Chris Galland. 1-1, swing and a miss, and the count moves to 1-2. So Kelly looking to keep the score at bay here from White House Field. Hyannis in search of their 7th win of the summer and looking to pick up some ground on the Bourne Braves. Kelly gets the sign, the 1-2. Just down low with a fastball and the count 'll level. So Bourne drops the contest 9-4 tonight to the Whitey Red Sox. They'll stay at 24 points, move to 12-17. Hyannis at 13 points, looking to work their way up. Pitch, swinging a line drive out to deep left field. Harvard backtracking, still going at the wall at 1, hops the fence. Cabrera around first, he's thinking 2. He'll stand up without a play. It's a leadoff double for the LSU Tiger, and the Mariners have a runner in scoring position to lead off the 7th. Second hit of the night for Daniel Cabrera, his first extra base hit, as he gives a fist bump to his first base coach who grabs his elbow guard, and it'll bring up Chris Galland.
Well, the first piece of real hard contact off of Kelly out of the bullpen. Just a line drive over Hauber's head and off the wall. Cruising up into second base, no problem. Daniel Cabrera, he's got a 2-hit night.
So Gallen, the hitter, hitting from the 2 slot, right-handed bat out of Boston College as the Memphis Tiger Landon Kelly's going to work out of the stretch. And he fires home. Breaking ball hits the outside corner. It's 0-1. So Kelly, a transfer. Spent his first season of college ball at Austin Peay, where he went 0-1 with a 3.45 ERA in 28 2/3 innings. Then he made the transfer over to Memphis. As time's going to be called, Hackenberg's going to run out to the mound to go over the scouting report. Now he plays for the Memphis Tigers. Teammates with Hunter Goodman during his school days. Now the two are teammates here on Cape Cod. He played both ways for Austin Peay. He was more a pitcher than he was a hitter, but he did hit .264. 2 home runs, 8 RBIs. Kelly's been a two-way player most of his life. Less and less as time's gone on, as now only had 2 at-bats in 2019 for Memphis. And now he's back on the mound, set to go. 0-1 to Chris Gallen. Here it comes. Swing on and nubbed out to the mound. Kelly slips, picks it up with the right hand, fires to first, and it's just in time. So Gallen retired. A little bit of a funny sequence of events. He hit one off the end of the bat, rolling toward the mound. Gallen slipped out of the box. Kelly came off the mound, then he slipped going to pick it up, but grabs it with the right hand and fires to first in time for the first out.
Yeah, grass may be a bit sleek, although that doesn't explain the hitter Gallen stumbling out of the box, but Kelly off the mound to go get it, an athletic play. Just lost his footing a little bit, but still with the presence of mind to pick it up and fire to first to get the out.
So the go-ahead run stands 90 feet away as Cabrera moved up to third. And who better for Harwich to have up than Nico Cavadas? 22 RBIs on the season for the Notre Dame left-hander, and Travis Poole's going to opt to put him on. Cavadas chucks the bat about 15 feet in the air toward the Harwich dugout. On the third base side, he's going to trot down to first base.
Are bat flips for a walk a thing?
Well, the home run king on Cape Cod's trying to make it one. If he hasn't had enough chances this summer with his 7 bombs, he gets another with an intentional walk right there. So as a result, it's going to put runners on first and third. It puts the double play in depth and into play as well, with runners on the corners, 1 out. Brings up the hitter Christian Fedko. He's got 1 home run on the summer, so a little bit less power. Kelly, the stretch and the fire home. Swinging a fly ball into shallow right field. Coasting in Hunter Goodman. This could get the job done. Makes the catch. Tagging from third, the runner Cabrera. Throw coming to the plate. Tag applied, but he slides in safely. Daniel Cabrera just slides around the tag, and Harwich is up 3-2. So Hunter Goodman comes in from right field, tracking the ball, moving in, makes the catch at the neck-high level, then makes a strong throw to his teammate Adam Hackenberg at the plate. A one-hop a little bit to the right of the dish. Hackenberg makes the stop on the backhand, applies the tag, but just a little bit late is the runner Daniel Cabrera slid around it with just enough time from third base.
Well, even though the run scores, what a throw from Hunter Goodman, trying to help out his college teammate Landon Kelly on the hill by preventing a run. A very strong throw to the plate. Hackenberg's tag just a bit late.
Now Joey Weimer, the hitter. He swings at the first pitch and chops it foul toward the Hyannis dugout. So a big sacrifice fly from Christian Fedko puts the hometown Mariners up 3-2. Weimer, right-handed hitting bat from Cincinnati. And the best way you can describe him, he's got the Craig Counsell-like stance from the right side. Holds that bat way above his head. Stands straight up. But a good bat for the Harwich lineup as Landon Kelly's got an 0-1 count. Here comes the pitch. Called strike on an off speed. Count will move to 0-2 with 2 outs. 3-2 Mariners the score in the bottom of the 7th. Harwich scored 1 in the first on the Chris Gallen RBI single. 1 in the 4th on a Pat Winkle RBI single. Now 1 in the 7th off the Christian Fedko sac fly, which was his 9th run batted in of the summer. Kelly, the stretch in the 0-2. Fastball up high. Weimer just watches it go, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes to the Cincinnati Bearcat. Kelly made multi-inning appearances 14 times in 2019. His season high being 5. He's thrown 2 2/3 innings so far tonight for the Hyannis Ball Club. Now the stretch in the 1-2. Misses outside and the count will level. So for an offense like Harwich that does not put up a whole lot of runs at will, they've only got 3 tonight, but it's the story of their season. Pitching anchoring this game for the hometown club. They've got a 1-run lead in the bottom of the 7th inning. Now courtesy of a Christian Fedko sac fly. 1-2 from Kelly. Swinging a chopper right side. That's going to go just foul. So Weimer's going to make a circle around the box and get set to go again. But to go over the numbers again for Harwich, they came into the game hitting just .220 as a team. That ranks last in the league. Their on-base ranks last in the league. Their runs scored rank last in the league. And even when they're playing at home, they don't hit particularly well, just .223. That's better than their road average of .217. So just as a whole, Harwich not a fantastic offensive ball club. 2-2 from Kelly. Swung on and popped up on the infield right side. Fair drifts a step back, makes the grab. That'll end the inning. A sacrifice fly from Christian Fedko, currently the deciding factor in the ballgame, as Harwich has moved out to a 3-2 advantage through 7 frames. In the inning, 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on. We'll go to the top of the 8th when we come back. It's Harwich 3, Hyannis 2 on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Top of the 8th set to get underway from White House Field in Harwich. And with the game in Harwich's favor right now, 3-2 the score. Bryce Teodosio is going to come to the plate as a pinch hitter for Rigsby Mosley in the number 2 spot. So Mosley's night ends after going 1 for 3 with an RBI single. Teodosio, the right-handed hitter, is going to take over against the lefty Tommy Vale back on the mound. First offering, swing and a miss from Bryce, and it's 0-1. So for Teodosio, coming in as a pinch hitter. 0-1 the count. As Tommy Vale's worked a really strong outing from relief, but that fastball misses high. Bryce coming into the game hitting 173. Looking to jumpstart something in the top of the 8th. Pitch, swing and a miss at a fastball, and it's 1-2. Teodosio, the outfielder from Clemson, but at least as of now, he's not going to go into the field, although there's nobody usually better to have roaming the outfield. Maybe the best defensive outfielder in the entire country. 1-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. So Teodosio comes in as a pinch hitter, fanned on 4 pitches, and there's 1 down in the top of the 8th. So Bryce will walk back to the dugout. It'll shift things to Trevor Hoover with 1 away. So we'll see what happens with Teodosio after this inning concludes, because in a close game, when pitching and defense is at its prime, nobody better to have roaming the outfield than Teodosio. Came in to replace Mosley as the DH. Pitch to the lefty Hoover. Fastball misses down. So currently the outfield sits of Trevor Hoover, Mitch McIntyre, Hunter Goodman, but don't be surprised to see one of those guys get shifted into the DH spot, and Teodosio come in as a defensive replacement. Hoover watches a fastball away. Trevor today 0 for 3. 2 strikeouts and a flyout to center. Hyannis looking to get something going against the lefty Tommy Vale. To this point, he's gone 3 scoreless innings with 6 Ks. Pitch to Hover way up high, and it's 3-0. So way ahead of the count, the Sun Devil Trevor Hover. The Notre Dame Fighting Irish Tommy Vale looking to fight his way back. Mariners up 3-2. And now the 3-0. Called strike right on the inside corner. And just painting one enough to stay alive in the at-bat, the left-hander Vale. Hyannis 5 hits tonight, no errors. Harwich 7 hits, no errors. Now the 3-1. Swinging a chopper foul toward the Hyannis dugout on the right side. So 3-2 the count. Hyannis looking to chip away at a 3-2 deficit. And Hover, who comes into the day second in the league in walks, looking to get himself on base with 1 away. Now the windup in the 3-2. Up high, ball 4. Trevor Hover draws his 22nd walk of the summer. And he's aboard at first base for power hitting Hunter Goodman. So Goodman today, 1 for 3. He struck out, singled, and flown out to center field. But Goodman, maybe nobody you'd rather have up at the plate as Hover takes off with the pitch. And it looks like it's going to be called a balk as Vale stepped off the mound as he saw Hover starting to sprint. Made an illegal motion. Brought that front foot back a little bit too early, it looked like. And now Hover's in scoring position. So Goodman with an RBI opportunity. He's got 26 runs batted in on the summer. That leads the Cape. Hyannis trailing 3-2. Goodman, back elbow bent in the right side of the box. Pitch, fastball high. So a close one tonight between two teams who sit in last place in their respective division. Harwich last in the East at 13-17. Hyannis last in the West at 6-22-1. Pitch from Vale. Swing and a miss from Goodman, and the count evens. And part of the reason for Harwich not being able to successfully move their way out of the cellar, at least to a substantial amount so far this summer, has been they simply play to their level of competition. Vale's ready, checks the runner Hover at second. Now a second time, and he fires home. Swing and a miss from Goodman. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the Memphis Tiger. The Harwich Ball Club is a total of 5-9 against the bottom 4 teams in the Cape Cod League. They fare perfectly fine against the teams up top. They're 7-6 against the top 4 teams in the league, but 5-9 against the bottom 4 teams. Now the 1-2 from Vale. Swinging a foul back from Goodman. He stays alive. So again, Harwich has done what they've needed to do against teams at the top. 7-6, perfectly respectable against teams like Wareham, Katuitt, Chatham, YD. 4 ball clubs that'll definitely be vying for a Cape Cod League title at the end of the summer. But Harwich just hasn't been able to capitalize against some of the lesser teams in the league this summer. Vale checks the runner Hover, stretching the 1-2. Down low, blocked by the catcher, Winkle. And 2 balls, 2 strikes, the count goes. So Hyannis has beaten Harwich once this summer. That came in game 2 of a doubleheader, 7-2 victory at McKeon Park. But the Mariners looking to squeak one out here tonight. Harwich will have a home and home to end the season with the Brewster Whitecaps. Those games will loom large for each division seeding. Pitch to Goodman, breaking ball swung on and chopped foul toward the left side. So Brewster once again sits just 1 point of the Mariners at 27 points. Their record 13-15-1. And they lost tonight to Chatham 7-2. So if Harwich finds a way to hold on and win tonight, they'll move up to 4th place in the East Division and be sitting in a playoff spot for the time being. Goodman flips the bat out toward the zone. Vale comes set, glove right at the belt. Now the pitch. Swung on and lined back off the screen. Goodman 5 home runs in the summer. He and Nico Cavadas easily the two biggest power bats in this game. And both will be squaring off in the home run derby on Sunday night at Eldridge Park. Cavadas a left-handed hitter, Goodman a right-handed hitter. As the Tiger bends his knees in the box, the lefty Vail comes set, fires home. Breaking ball swung on and fouled back. Goodman putting together a lengthy at-bat to stay alive. And sometimes strikeouts can be Goodman's Achilles heel. But fighting off some good pitches here. Borderline strikes and not going down easily. 2-2 count. Goodman wiggling the bat above his shoulder. Now Vail looks at Hauver, second time now, and fires home. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Goodman strikes out for the second time tonight. That's 7 punch-outs for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish product, Tommy Vail. And there's 2 away for first baseman Ian Fair. So I'll tell you what, some of these opposing pitchers, not only have they been cruising against the Hyannis bats over the last few days, Vail so far here tonight, but a lot of strikeouts racked up. Vail's got 7 tonight. A couple nights ago in Chatham, R.J. Dabovich had 9 in 4 innings pitched. Now the pitch to Fair from Vail. Fastball for a called strike. Then last night, Franco Alamon had half a dozen. 6 strikeouts in 7 innings for the right-hander, so a little bit less compared to that of Dabovich and Tommy Vail. But a couple of these bullpen arms in the East Division have really come back to haunt Hyannis. A 1. Fair checks a swing at a breaking ball in the dirt. There's going to be a peel down to first base, but he does not go around, according to umpire Alan Liberdoni. So R.J. Dabovich was absolutely marvelous back at Veterans Field on July the 14th, 2 days ago. 3-2 Harwich, the score. Hauver at second, pitch to Fair, swinging a fly ball, deep right field, backtracking Weimer Jr. at the wall, looks up, and it's off the fence. Hauver's going to walk home from second. Fair trading places with him, standing up at second, and it's an RBI double for the Northeastern first baseman as it deadlocks this game at 3-3 in the top of the 8th. So Ian Fair comes up with his 3rd RBI of the summer. Double number 4. And just like that, it's 3-3 at White House Field. Fair absolutely gave that one a ride. And a good one the opposite way as well. Weimer had a long way to run in the gap. Couldn't get to it, and the ball hits off the fence, just missing a home run, as now Jackson Olsen's the hitter. Swings at the first pitch and fouls it off. That gets out of play over the press box. So Ian Fair's really started to come into his zone in his second stint with the Hyannis Ball Club. He had a couple of starts early on before he was let go, spent a couple weeks at home, then brought back right on July the 4th. Pitch to Olsen, swung on and popped foul left side. That'll find the crowd. So he came back on July the 4th. That's fair. When Hyannis played at YD. Wasn't activated technically yet. Or technically he was. He just didn't play. First time he appeared in action was against Katuitt on July the 5th. And since then, he's been doing wonders for the Hyannis offense. It's 0-2 to the lefty Olsen. Breaking ball. Called strike 3 on the outside corner. Tommy Vail, 8 strikeouts on the night. He's been cruising outside of the Ian Fair double. But that 2-bagger for the Northeastern first baseman makes it a 3-3 ball game through 7.5 frames. For Hyannis in the inning, 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. It's the Harbor Hawks 3, the Mariners 3 on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Chris Lanzilli, Pat Winkle, Dylan Noisy, the 6, 7, 8 coming to the plate for Harwich in the bottom of the 8th. And David Moore, the left-hander out of pit, towing the rubber for his second appearance with Hyannis. Lefty winds and deals the first offering. It misses high and away. So Moore, the left-hander out of Pittsburgh. He's made one appearance so far, coming 3 nights ago against Chatham, where he went an inning and 2/3 of scoreless ball, giving up just 1 hit. 1-0. Fastball clips the outside corner, and it's 1-1. So for the lefty, David Moore stands at 5'10", 175 pounds. So he gets the sign, winds and fires. Breaking ball hits at the top of the letters for 1-2. Moore made 23 appearances in his 2019 campaign for the Panthers. 1-3 record, 34 strikeouts. ERA just over 6.7. Now the 1-2 from the lefty. Breaking ball, buries it, swing and a miss, strike 3. Hackenberg picks the baseball up, makes the throw to Ian Fair down the line to complete the strikeout. And there's one away in the bottom of the 8th frame. So David Moore picks up his 3rd punch out of the summer. He just buried that breaking ball in the dirt. Got the hitter, Chris Lanzilli, to swing over the top of it as the Wake Forest right-handed bat struck out for the 2nd time tonight. Now the hitter, Pat Winkle, out of UConn. He's responsible for one of the RBIs for Harwich today. Left-handed bat, 1 of 3, as the lefty Moore winds and deals. Breaking ball low and away. So again for Harwich, they had that 3-2 lead, but the Ian Fair double in the top of the 8th scored Trevor Hoffer from second, and the game's now knotted up. Pitch, breaking ball, outside corner. Count moves to 1-1. And once again, it's been the Achilles heel for Harwich. They're 5-9 against the bottom 4 teams in the Cape Cod League. Infield playing back. Moore fires home. Another breaking ball, misses low and away. He's mixing in a healthy dose of spinners to these Harwich bats coming into the ball game. It's the bottom part of the Mariners lineup. As the lefty Moore's ready with the offering. That's a fastball. This one misses high and wide. 3-1 the count. Harwich with 7 hits tonight. Hyannis with 5. Or 6, rather. As Moore's ready, the 3-1 comes in. Misses down and in, ball 4. So the lefty issues his first walk as Pat Winkle reaches base for the 2nd time. He'll flip the bat toward the dugout, stand up at first base, and it'll bring up shortstop Dylan Noisy.
The shortstop, number 10, from Texas.
So Noisy today, 0 for 3. Couple of pop outs, 1 to right, 1 to short, and a ground out to the pitcher. The lefty David Moore back onto the rubber. He's going to work out of the stretch for the first time. Jackson Olsen playing right on the lip of the infield grass. As Moore fires home. Breaking ball hits the outside corner. It's 0-1. So the corners are playing even with their bags. Ian Fair, of course, holding on the runner at first base. That's Pat Winkle. Middle infield back about straight up for the double play. A 1 from Moore. Breaking ball just up high, and it's 1-1. So the Mariners not a huge long ball hitting team either, of course, outside of Nico Cavadas, who leads the Cape League. Harwich has 13 home runs on the summer, and Nico's got over half of them. Moore fires over to first, back with a head first dive, or at least half a one. The runner, Pat Winkle, but he's back safely. And of course, part of that due to the big dimensions at White House. 400 feet to dead center. It's not Orleans big, but it's still pretty far from home plate to center field. Lefty Moore ready, the 0-1, or rather 1-1. Swung on and fouled right side out of play. Moore will get a new baseball. He's back on the mound. He was a community college transfer from Hartford. Made 18 appearances there and struck out 54. Mixes in a big fastball breaking ball combo. Heater sits about 86 to 90. As the runner Winkle gets a short lead off of first with a 1-2 count. It's 3-3 in the bottom of the 8th. Moore gives the runner a couple looks. Now the 1-2. Swung on and a hard line drive down the right field line, falling a base hit. Around second, thinking 3 Winkle. Up with the ball, Hunter Goodman. He cuts it off to Anthony Servideo. But now Harwich has runners on the corners with a 1-out hit from the Texas Tech Red Raider Dylan Noisy. It's his first base hit of the evening. As time's going to be called, Moore's going to get the baseball and the play's dead, but he's worked himself into a little bit of trouble here. Harwich now has the go-ahead run 90 feet away. And Nick Marshak, the hitter, digging into the right side of the box. Or Max Marshak, rather. So Moore stepping back onto the rubber from the left side. First and third, the runners. 3-3 the score. And the infield alignment's still the same. Corners in with Fair holding on the runner. Middle infield back for the double play. Stretching the offering, showing bunt Marshak, but it's down low. He pulls back, and it's 1 ball, no strikes. So Marshak stepping out of the box, looking down the third baseline. He's now going to tap the plate a couple times. Wiggling the bat above his right shoulder as Moore's going to throw over. Back standing up, the runner. That's Dylan Noisy after the 1-out single. So Hyannis could really use a win tonight, especially with the Bourne loss, to make up some ground. Marshak, the hitter. 0 for 3 today, looking to pick up a big RBI hit as Moore throws over again. David's yet to allow a run on Cape Cod. Again, he had the inning and 2/3 scoreless against Chatham, but that's been his only appearance. Marshak stands at 5'10", 180 pounds. Nightfall well among us here at White House Field. The lights fully on. Slight breeze blowing out toward right center. More the stretch in the 1-0, showing bunt Marshak pulls back, and it's high and away. So once again, both these ball clubs in need of a win. Brewster losing tonight. That would help Harwich. Bourne losing tonight. That would help Hyannis. And neither of these teams have really been swinging the bats too hot offensively as of late. Moore's next offering, showing bunt Marshak pulls back again, but this one called a strike on the outer edge. The Mariners have scored 5 or more runs just once in their last 9 games. They're 4-5 in that span. And the one time they scored 5 or more came in the 13-4 win against Wareham. And that was the Nico Cavadas 3-home run appearance. 2-0 for Moore. Showing bunt Marshak pulls back again. Off speed, misses high. So count moves to 3-1. Runners on the corners with 1 down. All deadlocked at 3. In the bottom of the 8th inning, and what will be the final matchup of the season between these two ball clubs. Harwich, who is not potent offensively, looking to pick up the go-ahead run. Moore throws over to first, back safely standing up, the runner Noisy. Harwich with 8 hits tonight. Hyannis again with 6. 2 have come from Jordan Westberg. The big one, the Ian Fair RBI double to knot the game at 3. As Moore's ready, the next offering, breaking ball, hits the zone, and it's 3-2. Throwing the bat back toward the third base dugout, Max Marshak. He thought it was absolutely ball 4. He's going to have to pick up his piece of lumber. Meeting him halfway, Daniel Cabrera, who waits on deck. Hyannis has won just 1 road game against the East Division this season. That was in the 2-0 victory over the Orleans Firebirds, where Hunter Goodman's 2-run bomb in the 9th sent them out to the 2-0 victory. 3-2 with 1 out, runners on the corners, 3-3 ball game. Moore throws over to first, back standing up, the runner Noisy. So Moore being thrown into a tough situation here at White House Field in his 2nd appearance. Looking for a big out against the number 9 hitter Marshak. Daniel Cabrera waits on deck. The right-handed hitting Texas Tech Red Raider flips the bat toward the mound a couple times, now into his stance with the knees bent. More the stretch in the 3-2 pitch. Breaking ball, just fouled back by Max Marshak, and the count stays alive at 3-2. Now the Hyannis offense hasn't gotten going much hasn't gotten going that much either. Coming into today's play, they had just 1 run in their last 2 games. They haven't scored 5 or more runs in their last 6 tries. Now it's 3-2 with 1 away. 3-2 for Moore. Fastball jackdives Marshak, and that loads the bases. A 1-out walk issued to the Harwich center fielder as he trots over to first. Noisy up to second. And now the situation gets even tougher as Daniel Cabrera is going to stride to the plate from the left side. An ever dangerous hitter for the Harwich lineup. And now it looks like there's going to be a pinch runner. So Riley Terada is going to come in to pinch run. A new addition for the Mariner Ball Club. He was with the Whitey Red Sox for a good chunk of the summer, but recently released, quickly picked up by the Harwich Ball Club. And he's in to run for Pat Winkle. So Terada at third, Noisy at second, Marshak at first. With Daniel Cabrera the hitter today, he's 2 for 4. 2 hits and a pair of runs scored. First time seeing the lefty Moore, who rocks and deals. Breaking ball low, it's 1 ball, no strikes. So Hyannis has been in a good amount of pitching duels over the last few days, but from the lack of offense between both these 2 ball clubs, almost felt like a pitching duel was imminent. 1-0 the count. As Moore's ready, the 1-0 offering. Swung on and fouled back. It's 1-1. Cabrera 1 home run on the summer. That came against the Hyannis Ball Club out at McKeon Park in the doubleheader. But Cabrera, one heck of a player, there's no question. Outfielder from LSU. 286 average with 12 home runs this past season as he watches a breaking ball away. So he's definitely got power. He also can walk. He had 24 of those as an LSU Tiger in 2019. And however it gets the job done, Harwich and manager Steve Englert will take. Bases loaded, 1 out. The infield playing in for Hyannis, looking to cut off the run from third. That's Terada, who came in to pinch run. 2-1, breaking ball low, 3 balls, 1 strike, and Moore's worked himself into a hole. So a big pitch up coming. Terada represents the go-ahead run for Harwich at third base. Cabrera into the box, an open stance from the left side, now the 3-1. Swung on and popped up on the infield. Olsen moving to his right, now back to his left, settles under it and makes the grab. A picture-perfect picture-perfect situation rather for David Moore and the Hyannis Ball Club. The bases loaded with 1 out. Couldn't quite get the double play, of course. That would have probably been the only thing more ideal. But a pop-up on the infield doesn't advance any runners. Puts an additional out on the board and retires a big, big bat in Daniel Cabrera, who's already had himself a big night. That'll transfer things to Chris Gallen, and power-wise it might get a little bit easier, but not average-wise. Pitch down low, slightly gets away from Hackenberg, but he smothers it in time as no advancement from any of the runners. Terada holding put at third. So 2 away, bases loaded in the bottom of the 8th inning, 3-3 the score. David Moore induced that crucial pop-up to Daniel Cabrera. But Chris Gallen's 2 for 3 with a hit by pitch tonight. It's reached base 3 times. Now the offering, up high, and it's 2 balls, no strikes. Gallen, the RBI single in the first, the hit by pitch in the third, and the single back in the bottom of the 5th. Moore, a long pause, now fires home, swing and a miss at a fastball. Hackenberg rises to his feet quickly, fakes a pump to first, but back with no problem, the runner, Max Marshak. So a critical situation for Hyannis in the bottom of the 8th inning. Nico Cavadas awaits on deck. Don't want to let things get to him. Also don't want to let the Harwich Mariners take the lead. 2-1. Fastball inside. Count runs to 3 balls, 1 strike. So Moore works himself behind in another count. He did more of the same against Daniel Cabrera, but ultimately issued the pop-up. 3-3 the score. Harwich knocking on the door after Hyannis retied the game in the top of the 8th on an Ian Fair double. Now the stretch, and the 3-1 on the way to Galland. Fastball hits the zone, strike 2. Count's going to run full. Runners will be taking off with the pitch with the bases loaded. 3-2 with 2 outs. Tie ball game from White House Field. And David Moore looking to get himself out of a bases loaded jam. The entire infield back, outfield straight up. Comes set right above the belt. Now the 3-2. Down low, ball 4. Chris Galland points his index finger toward the dugout in elation as he trots down to first base with an RBI walk to make it 4-3 Harwich. So David Moore worked himself back into the count, had a full count offering coming, but he missed his spot low, and he issues an RBI walk to Chris Galland, who picks up his 7th run batted in of the summer. So Nico Cavadas now the hitter, and now things really don't get easier. First pitch, breaking ball low and away. 1 ball, no strikes the count. Terada came on to score from third on the play. Made the 4th Harwich run of the summer. Dylan Noisy now at third, Marshak at second, Galland at first. Moore's going to work back out of the windup, fires home, swinging a pop-up foul out of play. And once again for Cavadas. He's had 6 of his last 7 home runs come in the last 11 games. 5 of the last 7 have come in the last 10. And 3 came in 1 game against Wareham. Bases loaded with Harwich leading 4-3, 2 outs. Pitch from Moore. Swing and a miss at a breaking ball 1-2. Turned that one over, worked from the inside to the out to the hitter Cavadas as the lefty looked fooled on that pitch. Cavadas hitting .274. He's 0 for 1 today with a walk. Also a hit by pitch and an intentional walk. Now the 1-2. Breaking ball misses low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Cavadas looking for some much needed insurance for Harwich. Their pitching's dazzled up to this point. Their offense hasn't quite given them the support up until now. They lead 4-3. 2-2. Swung on and roped into the gap in right center. Goodman over a couple of steps, but he makes the grab. So Nico Cavadas allowed third out to end the bottom of the 8th. And damage is minimized, but not before the Mariners make it a 4-3 advantage. David Moore walked in Chris Galland to plate Riley Terada, and that's where we currently sit. For Harwich in the inning, 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, 3 left on. We'll go to the top of the 9th. Last chance for Hyannis coming up when we come back on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Top of the ninth set to get underway from McKeon Park. It's Harwich 4, Hyannis 3. And a lot of defensive changes. In fact, about the whole phone book for the Harwich Mariners coming in as defensive replacements. Nico Cavadas has shifted from third base to first base. Riley Terrata stays in the game to play third. Hal Hughes out of LSU now playing second base, taking over for Christian Fedko. And Mike Rothenberg behind the plate as new arm Will Heflin fires the first pitch to pinch hitter Rowdy Jordan. And it's a called strike. So you can see how much has changed from the bottom of the eighth to the top of the ninth. So Rothenberg behind the plate, Cavadas at first, Hughes at second, Terrata at third. And Will Heflin, the arm on the mound. Left-hander rocks and deals. Switch hitting Rowdy Jordan takes a breaking ball for a called strike. Will Heflin, one of the 8 Harwich All-Stars. He's already seen Hyannis once, and he has dazzled this summer. 17 and a third innings pitched in 0.51 ERA. Hyannis looking to tie the game in the top of the ninth. The 0-2 to Jordan. Fastball away. Heflin making his 7th appearance of the summer. He's already racked up 1 save. That came against these very Harbor Hawks. A 3-inning appearance. It was a 6-0 win, but because he went 3 innings, he was credited with that save. Now the 1-2. Swing and a miss from Jordan, strike 3. Rowdy punches out for the first out of the top of the ninth. First strikeout for the lefty, Will Heflin. And it'll bring up another Hyannis pinch hitter. It'll be switch hitting catcher Chad McDaniel to come in for Adam Hackenberg. So Hackenberg ends his day after going 1 for 3 with a double and a run scored. From one switch hitter to another for the Harbor Hawks. Switch hitting Jordan punched out to begin the ninth. Now switch hitting Chad McDaniel stepping in from the right side of the box. Heflin, the lefty, back on the mound. Gets the sign, winds and fires. Fastball, just up high, ball 1. Heflin's only given up 1 earned run all summer. It was in 2 2/3 innings pitched against the Chatham Anglers, where the A's went on to win that game 3-2 at Veterans Field. McDaniel, knees bent in the box. Heflin, the offering, breaking ball high and away. 2 balls, no strikes the count. McDaniel, third on the Missouri Ball Club in hits, tied for 4th in home runs in 2019. Looking to get a hit on the board here. 2-0. Fastball hits the zone, a called strike. 2-1 the count. 4-3 Harwich the score in the top of the ninth. Each team put up a run of their own in the 8th frame. The lefty Heflin shakes his head at the sign. Nods, fires home. Breaking ball misses away. So 3-1 to McDaniel. If he gets on, Anthony Servideo waits on deck. Lefty Heflin takes a breath, infield playing back. Now fires home. Fastball misses away, ball 4. Chad McDaniel draws a 1-out walk as he trots down to first base. And now the tying runs aboard for Hyannis in the top of the ninth.
Well, perhaps some signs of life. We've seen some late inning drama from this Hyannis offense over the last couple of ball games, last night being no different. And tonight, trying to mount another comeback, this time on the road against the Harwich Mariners. And that's a good start with McDaniel drawing the walk.
Anthony Servideo now the hitter. McDaniel stands at first base. The lefty Heflin gets the sign. He's going to work out of the stretch. Rocks and deals home. Fastball hits the zone for a called strike. McDaniel only with 1 stolen base this summer. But he's a guy that can swipe some bags. Don't let the 6'3", 215-pound frame size fool you. He swiped 16 in his season at Missouri. Now the offering, breaking ball low. So he hasn't stolen a lot this summer, Brendan, but we'll see how acting manager Travis Poole opts to go about this, because McDaniel's a catcher that can certainly run. With Hyannis in need of a run, we'll see if he opts to be aggressive and try to get him into scoring position. Jordan Westberg awaits on deck. He represents the leadoff man for Hyannis. Now the 1-1 from Heflin. Breaking ball misses away.
Yeah, and you mentioned Travis Poole. Might channel the aggressiveness here with McDaniel aboard at first. You mentioned those 16 stolen bags as well. And McDaniel has some sneaky speed on the base paths, so a runner in scoring position certainly would go a long way in a 1-1 game.
Heflin takes a breath on the mound, checks the runner McDaniel at first. Now the pitch, fastball, called strike, and the count levels. So Heflin is, you can probably imagine, with those gouty numbers, he's going to the All-Star game too. Left-hander, once again, that minuscule ERA that sits at just 0.52. Now the 2-2 to Servideo. Down low, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Heflin's only walked 4 guys the entire summer. 3 of them came in one outing against Katuitt. He's got a 3-2 count with 1 on to Anthony Servideo here in the top of the 9th. McDaniel, the runner, at first. Third baseman Riley Terada playing in with the bag at third. And now the full count offering. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Will Heflin records his 2nd strikeout of the night. And the final hope for Hyannis is coming to the plate in the form of Jordan Westberg. But Westberg is the right guy to have up, no question. 2 hits already tonight. An RBI as well, coming on that 6-4 fielder's choice back in the 5th. Harwich, once again, leads the season series 2-1. McDaniel, the runner, at first with a short lead, both hands on the knees. Now the stretch in the offering to Jordan Westberg, swing and a miss. Good breaking ball, took something off it, was Heflin. He's already ahead, 0-1. Now Harwich dropped a contest last night 5-2 to YD, courtesy of a Jack Wold 3-run bomb for the Red Sox. Tonight, they're looking to pick up a win. 0-1, swing and a miss at a breaking ball, strike 2. Westberg's out in front of 2 off-speed pitches, and now the Harbor Hawks are down to their final strike. 4-3 the score with 2 outs in the 9th. McDaniel represents the tying run at first. Westberg the go-ahead run at the plate. So after dropping a contest last night, Harwich looks to pick up a win and move themselves back into 4th place in the East Division. Stretch from Heflin. Now the 0-2 to Westberg. Outside, ball 1. And Harwich probably thought they had a real chance to win the ball game last night. They put in the right-hander Joe Boyle, who throws 100 miles an hour. But Wold hit that 3-run home run off of him, just turning on an inside fastball to propel the Red Sox out to a win. 1-2 the count. Here comes the offering. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Will Heflin strikes out the side in the top of the 9th, and that'll do it from White House Field. Harwich picks up the win 4-3, their 14th of the season, and they move back into the playoff picture in the East Division, jumping ahead of the Brewster Whitecaps.
Well, tonight, just another late inning drama game for Hyannis, and I'm unable to close it out. They got the tying run on the base paths and the go-ahead run to the plate in Jordan Westberg. Just unable to bring him around, but credit to Will Heflin, an unbelievable performance. A walk sandwich in between a 3-strikeout performance to lock down and win for Harwich, a much-needed one. Both ball clubs came into the game tonight needing to pick up a W, but ultimately it was the hometown Mariners that were able to get the job done.
Yeah, and Brendan, like you talked about, the Hyannis pitching was really good tonight. Tyler Madison, just over 4 innings, 2 runs, kept the team in the ballgame. Then Landon Kelly comes on in relief, and he does a pretty nice job in his first time in a Harbor Hawk ball game. 3 innings, just 1 run. But then the Achilles heel won. The RBI walk to the hitter, Chris Gallen, in the 8th. But more so than that, the Hyannis bats just couldn't quite come alive again tonight. They scored some runs, but just didn't quite get that big inning that they were looking for.
No, and you mentioned the pitching a bit earlier on, and they did what they needed to do. You're absolutely right. Madison held down the fort for 4 innings, gave up just 2 runs, and that's exactly what you need out of him. Give way to the bullpen to Landon Kelly, who was solid in his first game as a Harbor Hawk, and then David Moore. You mentioned that RBI walk, just unable to hold it down till the end and give Hyannis a chance to come back, ultimately falling by 1.
And here's the other issue, too, tonight for Hyannis. They had guys on base with opportunities. The problem is they had some trouble putting the ball in play. Hyannis struck out 17 times tonight. McCullough had 6 strikeouts, the Harwich starter. Tommy Vale had 8 punch-outs in relief. And then Will Heflin, a trio of Ks striking out the side in the 9th. So with runners on base, often putting the ball in play is sometimes all you need to do, but just couldn't quite do that tonight as these Harwich arms were pretty overpowering.
And you could say that the men left on base have been the Achilles heel of the offense when and if they have gotten chances to come back late in ball games. Hyannis stranded a runner in all but 3 frames tonight, which could tell a tale of why they ultimately fell by 1 here tonight at White House Field. But credit to the Harwich arms. They were very, very solid.
So a pair of Harwich arms. Connor McCullough, the starter, followed by Tommy Vale, the left-hander, and all-star Will Heflin doing the closing duties, helping Harwich pick up a 4-3 win over the Hyannis Ball Club, as the Mariners will move to 14-17 on the season. And as a result, they're back to 4th place in the East Division. The final line for each team tonight: for the visiting Hyannis Harbor Hawks, 3 runs, 6 hits, no errors. They leave 7 on base. And for Harwich, 4 runs, 8 hits, no errors. They leave a total of 6, 9, 10, 11 on base. So Hyannis pitching limited damage a lot of times tonight, but just couldn't quite do so enough as the RBI walk to Chris Gallen in the 8th, the deciding factor after the Ian Fair top of the 8th RBI double for Hyannis. But as a result, Harwich picks up the 4-3 win, and once again, they're back into playoff contention. Hyannis drops to 6-23-1 on the season. They still sit 11 points behind the Bourne Braves, with both clubs losing tonight. And for the Harbor Hawks, they'll look to respond tomorrow out at Lowell Park in Cotuit against their rival Kettleers. That game will be set for 5 o'clock p.m. in Cotuit, and we'll have all the action for you covered then. But for one final time tonight, Harwich wins by a final score of 4-3. And for Brendan Howe, I'm Lyle Goldstein. We thank you so much for joining us in tonight's contest, and we'll talk to you tomorrow from Cotuit.